All right, so we turned it off and turned it on again. Then it worked. Hey, welcome to the Gun Game Monday stream. I already did the intro, but apparently to nobody. So hi guys, we're coaching Nopples. He's a Silver 5 player. He's been on the stream. He's trying to get better at his champ pool, so we're talking through that. We've been talking through it for like 20 minutes. So there we go. There we go. All right, so Nopples, going back to this, we got to pick a magical damage dealer and a physical tank.
Actually, for magic damage, I'm currently saving up to get Diana, because my friend who plays Diana, which is the one I gave Rift Herald to, he's pretty good at her, and I want to try her out.
I would not recommend her.
Okay.
You can play whoever you want, but why would I say she's not good?
Who else to choose? Like, I don't want to try Fiddlesticks. Like, I've tried him, and he's boring, so I don't really want to get him.
All right, so no Fiddle. Elise or Nidalee?
Nidalee?
Nidalee and Elise are Nidalee's probably one of the hardest junglers in the game to learn. Elise maybe the second hardest, but they're also really strong and do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I can give you more options too, but the reason I don't like Diana is because she can't really do much until she hits 6. So you're kind of like just telling your team, all right, good luck in lane. See you when I'm 6. You know.
I usually gank early with Zac, like level 3.
Right. With Diana, you can't really do that. Your ganks are going to be horrible. It's kind of like Warwick. You just kind of walk into lane, and they just kind of walk away, and
yeah.
So I don't want to tell you to play that. Here, let's actually see what I have in my pool, okay?
All right.
So if I wanted magic, here I'm going to leave hybrid in there too, and I want to
like Bard jungle if that would be a good choice.
I wouldn't recommend.
Got a pretty slow clear.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. I've been trying to make it work. Like every day, I play a couple Bard jungle games and co-op versus AI just to like theory craft builds that make sense. But oh man, Sneaky. That is the best joke I've heard today. Wait, time out, Nopples. I have to tell a joke because I have to tell you a story. It's a joke. Okay, can I take 2 minutes to tell a joke?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so you guys, Thursday I went to a Detroit Tigers game, and I bought this hat, but that's not the joke. And I was standing in line for pizza. It was Little Caesars Pizza, right? You know, because they like sponsored the Tigers. It was like $12. Little Caesars Pizza that was like this big, you know, so complete ripoff. But while we're standing in line for the pizza, I like it too. It was all right. While we're standing in line, this guy comes up. He's this old dude. He has like a big old bushy mustache, and his mouth is just full of food. He's like, made us wait. Then he clears his mouth and goes, all right, how do they cut their pizza in Mexico? With Little Caesars. And then he just walks away. All right, that's all I got. All right, let's go back to coaching.
Okay.
So if you want someone that does magic damage, I would recommend Evelynn, actually. Have you ever played her?
Yeah, I have.
She's a different kind of jungler. Like, you need a lot of game knowledge to play her well.
Wait, is full AP Jax on that list?
Jax is hybrid damage. He scales with AP, he scales with AD.
My friend keeps telling me to go AP Jax, but I don't think it's a good idea.
It's not a good idea. It's a horrible idea. But you can build, like, both types of damage. Like, get things like Ginsu's Rage Blade. Get things like... What's that?
Like Gunblade?
Gunblade, Rage Blade, stuff like that. Triforce is usually, like, the best way to play Jax right now is kind of as a bruiser. So you get, like, Triforce, Frozen Heart, you're at 40% CDR, and then you just get tanky, and with those 2 items, you're good. You can do magic on-hit damage, like Triforce, Blade of the Ruined King, and you're good. I have him here as a hybrid because his ult, like, every 3 hits does magic damage. He does scale with AP, like, because his ult gives you more magic resistance stuff, so you can build it. But, like he is not.
Isn't it only
good.
Like your W and your 3rd hit on your ult?
Yeah, so he's a hybrid. He has a little, but like if you build him straight AP, that's just shit. Okay,
yeah.
Would not recommend.
I used to play him quite a bit.
So I'm gonna stop talking about Jax. Okay, we're gonna filter him out of the list because I'm trying to set you up for success. So one of these guys, because we're looking for damage, is who I'd recommend. You said you didn't want Nidalee, right? So we're off meta. Kayle would be pretty good.
Yeah, Riot just gave me a free skin for her, so maybe.
Kayle would be strong. She's very easy. She's like one of those easy to learn, tough to master ones. Can make an impact at all points in the game.
Like you right click on them and then walk away, and you get like a pentakill.
Yeah, like pretty much. Like I would recommend Kayle over Deanna. And again, I'm not your dad. You can do whatever you want, but Kayle can actually gank before level 6.
Yeah, because she's got a slow, right?
Yeah, she's kind of like Graves. Like she has a bunch of damage, so it's helpful if she has teammates to lock people down. But you can get like Hurricane, then just stack AP, like Nashor's Tooth, and then like build Rylai's Leandries if they're tanky, or like Deathcap type items if they're not, and then you just sit there and murdering people.
So one of Kayle's abilities makes her autos do magic damage, right?
Dude, look at Kayle here. I'm assuming you just don't know what she does if you're asking questions like that. So let me show you Kayle.
Well, I'm wondering if that would make her auto attack slow, like her ranged ones.
So
Rylai's.
So check this out. Kayle's basic attacks reduce champion's armor magic resist. She's a hybrid. She does both. Her Q, this is the thing you said that slows them, reduces stuff, right? Her E, this right here, if you look, does magic damage on hit and splash magic damage that scales of AD and AP.
So does that count for Rylai's?
Yes.
Slow? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's really good. If you get Rylai's on Kayle, you're just slowing everybody, and they can't get away.
Pretty good.
And you can catch with this, and then slow with this, and they're just sitting there. If you get a Hurricane, you're hitting 3 things now. So really, 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 really strong. But you have to be able to sit there and like right click. So if you don't have a team that can kind of hold people in place for you, it's rough. Okay,
so
but
a team with a lot of CC.
Team with a lot of CC, and then you doing all the damage would be great. And remember, that's why we're picking these kind of champs, right? Like your team picks a whole bunch of tanks, you need someone to do the damage. So I would recommend Kayle. You can play Karthus, you can play Evelynn, something like that. Jake Capo, thanks for the follow up in the stream, man. But Karthus jungle can work. It's a little cheesy. You need very specific runes to make it work, like Spelldamp runes too. So we can totally do that, okay?
Alright.
If you want. But I would recommend Kayle, especially if you just got her and got a skip.
Yeah.
Kayle is way easier than Karthus, okay?
Alright, I'll try her out.
Alright, try it out. Who's talking? Kayle is weak early, though? It depends how you play her, man. Yeah, she definitely scales kind of like an AD carry, like stronger late game, sure. But she also has a really, really fast clear, so that's not really a problem if you're focusing on that. And then only ganking when it's free. I might play a Kayle game later, just because I haven't played one in a while, and I actually know how to play them. Or her, rather.
You can get like a power spike at 6, just because her ult isn't really like a burst of damage.
Well, you can tower dive with her ult.
Yeah.
You can pick fights that you normally wouldn't be able to with her ult. You can make, like, let's say you have a teammate fed. You can let them tower dive with her ult. You can do a bunch of extra stuff.
It's like a utility thing instead of like a damage thing, right?
Trust me, you do not need more damage on Kayle. Her kit is very, very, very much designed around doing the damages. You'll be A-okay. Try her out, okay?
Alright, yeah.
Like my first Kayle game, I think I got a pentakill. And like I had no idea what I was doing. It was just like, oh, I accidentally got a pentakill.
Yeah.
Like she's that kind of damage. So don't worry about not getting a power spike. Kayle is also a really good pick when they have assassiny burst champions like Zed because of that ult. So
I was playing Bard jungle and they had a Zed on their team. Or no, it was one of the games I played Bard support. So I had exhaust.
Okay, Bard support's a little better.
Yeah, and I had exhaust, and it's a really like complicated story. I don't think I could explain it. But I basically kited him around using my magical journey and my stun for like a good 2 minutes.
Good.
And right as he ulted me, I exhausted him, and it was pretty funny. I was like running around laughing, and I eventually killed him by myself. And it was
nice. Good. You're playing Bard correctly. Keep up the good work. People in the chat are talking about it takes too long to scale. No. If you play Kayle right and just farm up there, you will do plenty of damage. It'll be fine. It doesn't take too long. Like she's a lot, not like a Lee Sin or a Nidalee, where like just early game you can go in and do the things. But yeah, like
my friend thinks he's a god at Lee Sin, and he.
Oh, what rank is he?
Camp and then ganks. We're bronze.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I said thanks.
Yep.
And he just clears one camp and then ganks.
That'll work until the players get.
Strong at level 2.
That'll work until the players get smarter.
Yeah, they'll expect it.
Yep. All right, let's focus on you, though, because we got a lot to get through. We're already a half hour deep from the Skype shenanigans.
Technical difficulties.
And
All
we
right.
haven't really talked through any of this stuff yet, okay?
All right.
So are you happy with Kale?
Yeah. I'll
Kale,
try it
really
out.
strong. I'll show you a couple builds you can do on her, too, okay?
All right.
But physical tank. All right, let's see who we have, all right? And I have most of the junglers in here. There's probably a few I'm missing. So let's do physical, let's do tank, and anything that is... Let me do both, too, just in case. But anything that is in here, that's yellow is who the challenger player recommended, right? So Rek'Sai is who I would recommend first. Do you like Rek'Sai?
I've played her before. She's pretty fun. She has a lot of mobility, like getting around the map.
Yeah, she has a fast clear and can be everywhere. That's mainly what he was all about. I would recommend Rek'Sai, Volibear, or Hecarim.
I've played Volibear, and I know he's like really strong at level 3, but I just don't enjoy him that much.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy him, don't play him. You got to find something you like. So here, I'd
I
recommend...
really like Hecarim, though.
You don't really, or you do?
I really do.
All right, we'll play him then. He's kind of like an Amumu, actually. He's the same kind of like AoE, jump in there and do the things kind of champion. So I would recommend Hecarim. Rek'Sai is kind of like that, but more of like a split pushing type pick. So
Is Hecarim a tank? Because when I played him, I built him full AD.
yeah, he's a tank. Usually you build like one damage item, like when you watch me play Sejuani, I build a Liandry's, and I'm straight tank, just because it's solo queue. If I was playing with challenger players, I'd probably be straight tank. But Hecarim, you build like one damage item, like a Triforce, Trinity Force, and then you're straight tank.
Alright.
Like he's stronger when he's tanky. Reason being, he's going to be jumping in there, probably the engage. His W makes it, especially with Spirit Visage, that as your team does damage, he heals damage back, especially against champions. So he can just stay alive forever if you build him tanky. So try building him tanky. Like, sure, you can blow people up with like Glass Cannon Hecarim, but again, like when players get smarter, if you go Glass Cannon, they're just going to delete you.
Yeah, they'll just like get the spooky ghost item and slow you.
Yeah, and then you'll just die because you're not tanky, okay?
Yeah.
Muvuk asking about Zach Rune Pages. Actually, since you play Zach, let me show you what I've been doing and what the Challenger player kind of recommended. I've been doing this. Magic Pin marks, a mix of armor and scale and health seals, cooldown reduction, Quinsent, and glyphs. I try to get 20% from this so I can get CDR boots and Spirit Visage for 40%. I rush those pretty quickly. And then I just have a bunch of random stats like extra magic resistance stuff in here. But that'd be good on Zach. It's good on champs like Amumu. It's good on champs like Sejuani. Just tanky CC that needs cooldown reduction to use their abilities. I'd recommend that.
Well, I'm poor and I only have 2 rune pages. I have AD and AP.
Oh, it was a double IP weekend, man.
Yeah, I went ham and I got Darius.
Nice. I would recommend not buying champs with IP. I would save up for runes.
Really? I have like 2 rune pages, and should I get more rune pages? Is that
I would.
recommended?
I would get at least like probably 4. One for each one of the junglers you play, right?
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just so you have more flexibility. I mean, you can get by with just 2 rune pages. Like on my Smurf right now, I have 2 main ones. I think I finally got, like, I bought just that 9 rune page thing, so I had some more flexibility there. But when I first started on that Smurf, I went undefeated in promos, got to, like, Plat 5 after 10 wins with just 2 rune pages. So, like, you can do it. It's just, like, you'd rather have options and different things if you want to win more often. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Sea-Wish is saying Warmogs and Zac is amazing. Sure, man, but I mean, why not just completely murder them and then you don't even need the Warmogs because your blobs will heal you back up? I don't know. Sorry, guys, I'm going to ignore you. I got to get Nopples and good to go. So do you feel pretty good about this for your champ pool?
Yeah.
If you need help with Kale, I can help you there. I don't know many Kale one tricks anymore. There's a few guys like KaleBot. He helps out on LOL King that you could watch, but I don't know how often he streams anymore. Rek'Sai
Well,
and
you said Kale is easy. Like, I think I need more help with Kindred.
Kale is like one of those like easy to learn, hard to master champions. Kindred is one of those hard to learn, hard to master. Rek'Sai and Hecarim are pretty straightforward. And Rek'Sai, I could give you a bunch of challenger players to watch. Hecarim, like he's in games all the time too.
Yeah.
EdgeSec would be good to watch for Hecarim. Let me link you to his stream actually. He's like a smaller streamer who's a very good player, but EdgeSec stream Twitch. It's like something like this. I'll throw it into Twitch chat too. God damn it. He needs to, like, SEO himself, search engine optimize, so that he actually shows up. He's in my follows, though. Because whenever he's on, I try to watch him.
While you're looking stuff up, I wanted to say something that I meant, or I
yeah,
realized.
Go for it.
I realized a lot of the junglers that I have are tank AP,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's because in lower elo, a lot of teams don't have a tank and don't have a lot of AP because everyone thinks they're a god at Zed and like Yasuo. So you have an AD mid, so you have to go AP jungle.
Yeah, you usually get a bunch of bad players doing the damages, for sure.
And then you've got like Teemo's top, so you have to go a tank because you have no tank. So I just realized that a lot of my champs like Gragas and Zac and Amumu are all tank AP.
Yeah, for sure. And that's fine, but I'm saying, like, eventually you're going to climb up to a point where eventually you will have a different team comp. You know?
Yeah.
All right, I just linked you to EdgeSec. He actually has a bunch of videos showing how to play all the junglers we talked about. I can give you some other guys, too. Like, Silas is pretty good for Rek'Sai and Zac. Japan Man is really good for Zac, too. They're, like, really strong challenger players that play them very different. So something like that would be good. Silas is, like, the 4th best jungler in A right now for solo queue. But he plays like glass cannon damage, and he's always smurfing in like low diamonds. So like you're not going to see challenger gameplay of him. Who else would be good? I just looked through here. Japan Man. Apparently this guy is the most toxic piece of shit ever, but he plays like one of the best Zacs in the game.
More than Tyler 1?
They're like brothers. Think of it that way.
All right.
But check him out, maybe on mute, and just learn from him.
All right.
So I just gave you a bunch of people to watch. That'll be fine. I haven't seen a good Kindred streamer that only streams Kindred. EdgeSec for Hexai. EdgeSec for Hecarim, not Hexai. Silas for Rek'Sai. Kale, don't worry about. Zac, I gave you Japan Man. So, and you know how to play Mumu and Zac, it seems like. So I'll try to find a Kindred streamer for you. Or maybe I can just play Kindred games. Because I got to learn her a little bit better, too. Or them, excuse me. Want to have proper gender matching there, since there's a he and a she, right? But if you check out those guys, you should be able to learn from the best. Because like that Japan Man guy is apparently just a god at Zac. Like I learned how to play Zac watching him.
So for Kindred, you kind of build it like in ADC, right? Just like damage and attack speed.
Yeah. There are different ways to play her. Or them, her, you know, whatever you want to call.
Let's just say it.
Let's say it. We'll keep it it. We'll keep it as offensive as possible. It. And it depends on if the enemy team is squishy or if they're tanky.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if they're tanky, Lord Dominic's your guard, right?
It depends.
Like, if they're health tanky, then the other one.
Well, your passive here. Let me pull up Kindred real quick so you can see what she does with them. But Kindred's interesting because her passive is super confusing. But so read this at your own leisure. It's a lot. Pretty much she marks some bullshit, and if you kill the things she marks, she gains this every time she does that. So she gets on-hit physical damage that does 1.25% of the target's current health. Okay?
For each stack?
For each stack.
So if you have... Wait. So, say instead of 1.25, it does 1% of their health? If you have 100 stacks, which you probably won't get in the game, would you just one-shot them with one
Yes.
auto? Okay.
Unless they have a bunch of armor, you know, but
Yeah.
because it does physical damage. But if you have armor pen, you can get around that too.
So your base... Wait, it's not true damage, though, so you're not Vayne.
It's not true damage, so you're not Vayne, but it's a lot. So so there are different ways to build her, because you can play her on hit and get items like Blade of the Ruined King if they're tanky. Or if they're squishy, you do something else. Now, look at her. I'm not going to explain what these do, but look at the ratios. Are these big or little?
Very small.
Very small, right? So, like, people will recommend, get Infinity Edge and build her like an 80 carry. They're wrong. You don't want to do that. Attack speed is okay, but really, the way I found that's pretty optimal, just doing math crafting and stuff, is cooldown reduction.
Oh.
So you want to build her warrior, and before you lay into me, be like, no, Gundy, you're wrong! You're horribly wrong! Let me explain why. This cooldown right here is affected by cooldown reduction. And you
The
can
mark?
the mark. Now there's a static cooldown on stuff, so after you murder a champion or whatever, you do have to wait a set amount of time. But it will mark things more often the more cooldown reduction you have. As weird as that sounds. Unless Riot changed something since I played Kindred.
Would CDR runes be good on her then?
It would be, but you can buy 2 items. Like if you get 10% scaling CDR, like from your glyphs or something, and you get Warrior and you get Black Cleaver, you're at 40%.
Okay.
You know, maybe you don't want to buy Black Cleaver because they're not tanky or they're not going to stack armor. Get the CDR boots, get Death's Dance, get Warrior. Now you're at 40%.
And, what about the one mastery that gives you CDR like 5%?
You could do that too. I would recommend that actually.
Because then you'll have that right off the bat.
But what a lot of junglers pick is Strength of the Ages, because Kindred's a lot squishier than most junglers. So if you're getting one shot, you know, it doesn't really matter that you have that extra 5%. But again, it depends. If they're all tanky and going to kill you slowly, maybe it's damage over time champs like Singed or Swain or something. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. So what I recommend is getting to 40% CDR as quickly as possible, get Armor Pin, and then buy items like Maw Malmortis, because you get that shield.
Off-tank items? Like tank
The off-tank.
damage?
The off-tank. So like, figure like how... Do you ever watch I Want My Cigar play?
Yeah, sometimes. He's never playing Graves because Graves gets permaban.
Yeah, because Graves is way too strong right now. But how he builds Graves, you can build Kindred that way. Just instead of like the Infinity Edge, you're getting items with CDR and Armor Pin. So like Ghostblade would be really, really good. Death's Dance would be really, really good. So things like that, okay? And it's because you don't have a lot of AD scaling in your stuff, but your base damages are high, and the more marks you have, you play Kindred like you auto attack, then you Q, it kind of like cancels the rest of your auto attack animation, then you get another auto attack. So it's like 1Q1, you get like 3 quick hits there. And if you're hitting 3 things and you have the Black Cleaver, you're shredding their armor. I think the Q, it scales with, does it say? Yeah, you get some extra damage per mark every time you do it. So there's a bunch of like really interesting stuff you can do with her. And then her E will also do, if you hit 3 auto attacks.
So like Gnar, kind of?
Yeah, like the third auto will do a % of their maximum health. So this is like a really good execute.
Is that just a passive?
No, this is bonus physical damage. So like Wolf, I'll show you. I'll play a Kindred game later.
Alright, yeah, I'm kind of, there's a lot.
There's a lot, but I'll walk you through how to play her. Maybe tonight is I'll just spam Kindred and ranked and feed a little because it probably won't be a good Kindred comp when I play it.
Yeah.
But so people are saying Runaan's would be good too. Yeah, you can, but like it depends if you have a good tank line that'll let you actually auto attack Lukey Joe, and also your Q is applying all those things anyway. So if you have like Black Cleaver, or maybe your idiot teammates didn't buy Executioner's Calling against a healing team like Zac Soraka, so you can get Mortal Reminder. Well, your Q is still hitting 3 of them, so you don't really need the Runaans. Sorry, Nopples, you're talking. Talk over me, man.
Yeah, so since you kind of build it like an ADC-ish, do you have to kite a lot with the Jungle Kings?
Yep.
Alright, because I actually tried Tristana Jungle like you told me to, because I wanted to try
Tristana Jungle?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't tell you to try the jungle, but okay. How'd that go?
I did. It didn't fail completely.
But you probably got really good at kiting, right?
Yeah, I tried to at least.
Well, Kindred is designed to make kiting in the jungle easy. So if you're doing it with Tristana, like Kindred will be way easier. Your Q makes you hop a little bit. So it's a lot easier to jump around. So that'll be great. Yeah, what Lukey Joe is saying, that's one build you could do. Like, there are a bunch. That's not core, man. It depends on the matchup. Like that's a good build in certain matchups. It's horrible in others. Maw is like just a really strong item on anybody's squishy, but let's say they're all AD. You're never going to use it, right? So maybe Sterix Gauge instead of Maw there. Although Kindred loves the 10% lifesteal and spell vamp once the shield pops. But anyway, sorry, I'm just seeing shiny things. I'll show you how to do it. The champion.gg stuff is sometimes wrong. Like here, let me just do this real quick. Let me show you the core Sejuani build. I just had the challenger coach confirm that my math is right too. Where's Sejuani? She's not up here anymore? Oh, okay, she fell a little. Good. No one knows how to play her. Like the core build is Cinderhulk into just a bunch of dumb shit.
Cinderhulk first.
And then they build Rylai's on her, which is just shit. Like this is just some bad player who got lucky. So like these guys don't know what they're doing. The challenger player said Cinderhulk first on anybody but Zac is absolute horse shit. So I mean,
Yeah, I built Cinderhulk first on Zach because I heard you say that.
and the reason there is he needs it to speed up his clear, and he's so
Yeah.
mobile and has so much damage just built into his kit, like base damage wise, that it's fine. Cinderhulk lets him be everywhere on the map. It speeds up his clear, and because like he can react so quickly with his E and just jump so far from all the places, it's fine. Every other jungler though, you're wasting your gold. So like here is the OP the champion.gg, and it's giving you really shitty builds. Although this isn't bad. So I don't
I
know.
was
Take it with a grain
playing
of salt.
And at the end of the game with a full build, my Cinderhulk gave me more health than the Warmogs. So that just shows how much it is better late game.
Yeah, it's like a second or third item that keeps scaling the more health you get. So Zach's the only one that the challenger player recommended you buy first, and it's just to speed up his clear because he just needs that help speeding up his clear. That's it. Everyone else, you want to get a damage item first and sit on your little baby jungle item. So champion.gg, take it with a grain of salt. It's still good players, but good players that don't do the math and smoke a lot of weed. So don't trust those guys. All right, so going back to this, you feel pretty good about your champ pool, and I can show you how to play Kindred. Those other guys, watch them and ask them questions if they're streaming. EdgeSec is really good about answering all the questions. The other guys I'm not so sure about.
All right. Yeah, I'll check them out.
Okay, cool. So we feel pretty good about this?
Yep.
All right. Actually, I'll do. Let's keep this here just so I can see. What do you want to go through next? Team comps, different items, strategies. What do we want to do?
We could go with team comps based on what I'm playing, or
Cool.
play what my team comp is.
First of all, let's just do team comps. So I want
Alright.
you to tell me what are all the team comps, and if you don't know, that's fine.
So like,
Well, let's see if we can get 8.
like a team fighting comp, like that is one of them.
What do you mean by team fighting comp?
Like a wombo.
Okay, let's say wombo combo. There's a difference between team fighting and wombo, by the way. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Let's start with wombo.
Like wombo teams like Galio, Nunu, Amumu, stuff like that, like all put together.
So what makes them a wombo combo? You're right, but I want to make sure you know why.
They're
Okay.
all AOE.
They're all AOE. So AOE. What else though? There's another thing that makes them
CC.
wombo. CC, sure. What else? There's one thing in specific that I am looking for.
Initiation.
I mean, they have initiation
Something
too.
that starts it all.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
All of this, I could argue could be in any team comp too.
Yeah.
Like if this is a catch comp, CC, initiation, probably some AOE, like whatever. But Wombo actually has something else that makes it a Wombo. And Wombo is a Wombo combo, okay?
Yeah, like, I don't really know.
Vince got it in chat, Hoons, if you're watching the stream. It's burst on a long cooldown. So think about Amumu. When do you want to fight with him?
When your ult's up.
Yeah, now you mentioned Nunu, you mentioned Galio. When do you want to fight with them?
When your ult's up.
When their ults are up, right? So Wombo is when you have a bunch of really powerful abilities that if you use them all at once, the enemy team is just going to get deleted, right?
Yeah.
So think about it as, high cooldown burst. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So think like Misfortune is an AD carry or Varus is an AD carry, right? Their ult is really, really good when it's up, and especially if you can chain it with someone else into an Amumu, into a Sejuani. Maybe even Zac with his ult, although Zac can just jump in at like
Yeah, he kind of throws them away though.
Yeah, so like Gragas might not be the best to play in a Wombo because he like pushes them away. If you have like an Orianna mid, you want them together so she can get that shockwave so Yasuo can ult off of it. You see what I'm saying?
Like a Amumu, Galio, Malphite.
Yeah, but all of those, they have this really long cooldown, then it's a burst, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to do it all at once. And when your ult's not up, when that ability isn't up, what are you doing?
Not fighting.
Not
Stalling.
fighting. You're farming, you're stalling, you're waiting for that cooldown to be up. You're farming cooldown reduction items to make it up more often. So here, the other one you said was like team fighting comp, right? What do you mean by that?
Just good synergy, I guess.
I have no idea what that means.
Things that work well together.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what that means. Explain it to me.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's okay. It's okay. Like what I mean by team fighting comp is probably you have the standard meta thing, AD carry in the back, some kind of utility support in the mid, some kind of AP burst carry, and then 2 frontliners like tanking, right?
Yeah. I like to be one of the frontliners.
It's a standard boring team comp, 2 to 3 tanks, 2 to 3 carries, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then that's like just, all right, we can fight whenever, guys, but I'm going to have my carry in the back like this. We're going to have our support right here. We're going to have our frontliners over here. And we're
So
going to
like
have...
a Jhin as an ADC, because he can stay way back?
Yeah, something like that. Or well, the goal is your front line will just keep them off. Like, I like to think about it kind of like football. You know, you have the line of scrimmage right here.
Yeah, that's what one of my friends said.
These guys are like the quarterbacks, but there's 2 of them because it's league and not stupid sports ball. But you pretty much just have this, and you're looking to just kind of slam into the enemy team. And if you guys are stronger, you win. And if they're stronger, they win. So
like a turtle?
yeah, it's kind of like a turtle with like flaming diarrhea that'll melt people if they get too close to like the butt, which shoots through the front.
Secret Service around the president, all protecting the ADC and the mid laner.
Yeah, something like that. But then you pretty much just move into them and delete them and stuff like that. And if you're stronger, you win. If you're not, you lose. So it's kind of it's a boring comp, okay? But it's a comp. Yeah. It's a thing you can do. There's another one I like. Have you heard of a death ball comp?
Not really.
Can you imagine what a death ball comp could be?
No, not really.
All right, death ball is when you have just a really big burst. It could be a wombo combo type team too, but think champions like Diana and Yasuo, right? Are their cooldowns long or short on their big abilities?
Pretty short.
Pretty short, right? So death ball is you run around the map as 5 as a ball of death, and if you run into someone, you kill them, and then you take an objective.
I've seen those a lot. That's pretty common in low elo.
Run around with burst. Yeah, it's really good on Kha'Zix would be a good jungler for death ball. Because, like, you know, someone missteps, you just jump on them, delete. And if you have a bunch of friends of you, it's a lot easier to hold them in place so you can jump on them and delete them, right? So something like that.
There was this one game I had, and it was so weird. They had 3 junglers that just ran around the map.
Okay.
It was so weird. Like, the whole game, they would share the jungle, they would invade the enemy jungle.
Stuff like that can work, but it takes so much coordination that it's
I think they were all in like a Skype call or something, because there's no way they could have done that.
Probably.
Champ select.
All right, what else are there? We got 3 so far, but Death Ball is kind of like a wombo combo, only you usually have a shorter burst, and you have some kind of mobility too, so think like Sivir ult. Think like Hecarim. You know, you're just running around catching people out left and right. Like maybe Hecarim with a Yasuo, you slam into him with your E Yasuo ult, so you can do that every minute when his ult is back.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else is there?
Siege comp.
Siege, yes. Okay, what do you mean by that?
So like a lot of pokes. So if they try to engage, you just hurt them.
What if they try to engage on you? What else do you need?
Like peel.
Yeah, peel, or I'm just gonna call it disengage. But yeah, disengage / peel.
I'm thinking like Lux.
Yeah, Lux is perfect. There's one more thing you need. Lux is a great example of it. If you're gonna siege, what do you need to do really, really well? Minions are going to be popping out, right? So what do you need to do to them?
Clear?
Yeah. So the idea here is you just clear the minions faster than the enemy team, and you're slowly poking down that tower. If they peep their little head out trying to contest, you like blast them with a Nid Spear or a Lux Laser or something, right? And you use your range to kind of destroy the enemy team and force them off an objective so you can just safely take it.
Yeah.
So it seems like you get that. Hard engage team comps usually shit on this kind of team comp. Like Janna would be a good support into this because if like Zac tries to jump in, Janna's like nope R, you know, and then whatever.
Yeah.
But something like that is good. But the poke is the main damage here. If you guys are looking, you're just trying to poke them down, throw spears, throw lasers, throw bombs,
so
or
like
whatever.
Nidalee kind of.
Nidalee like turns any comp into a siege comp because you're reliant on her landing a few spears late game.
Yeah. So just like land a spear and then they can't really engage.
Yeah, like here you don't really have any junglers that would be good for this kind of comp. Maybe Kayle just for the wave clear and the damage to the tower, but like you don't really have anyone here that's gonna be poking. Like Rek'Sai with her Q, like when she's burrowed, the little thing that shoots out, but that's like so little damage it doesn't really matter. Kindred's kind of a short range AD carry. Hecarim, you know, if he goes in there, it's not poke, it's just he's engaging. And these guys, they might be disengaged maybe, but yeah, like I don't think you have to worry about siege comp with these guys. But yeah, it's a thing that exists, right? And we can talk about it. All right, what else?
Split push.
Split push, good. What kind of split pushing comps are there?
Well, I was thinking like Heimerdinger and Zyra defending with like a Master Yi split pushing.
Okay, so like a 1-4. Master Yi is the 1, everyone else is the 4.
Yeah, they're just like 4 defenders, and if they go to kill Master Yi. If they send one, he 1v1s them. If they send more than that, then the other 4 push.
Yeah, here. So let's talk about split pushing real quick. I talk about it on stream all the time. What makes for a good split pusher? Like, what does Master Yi have that makes him better? And I'm looking for 4 things here. And I know this is messing up the number structure.
I might know them. Because I saw one of your streams where you talked about it.
Good, good. Okay, so what do all good split pushers need?
Wave clear.
Wave clear, good. What else?
Take towers fast.
Take towers fast, good. That could be
they're fast, like to run away.
I call it slippery, but yeah, they have some way to escape if like 7 people teleport on them. You know.
And then they can 1v1 or 1v2 if they send people to kill.
Good duelists, because like let's say one person stays up there to deal if you're split, you want to be able to delete them or force them off the tower so that you can get to the tower to take it fast. So good split pushes like this. Master Yi is great because his Q clears waves really fast. Tryndamere is really good. He can spin through stuff. He takes towers fast. He's all auto attacks. He's hard to kill because of his ult. Master Yi, same thing. He can ult to run away. All of them can dash over walls. Master Yi can alpha strike over walls if there's a minion or something that he can see if a ward. And good duelists, those guys are literally 1v1 champs. So
like a Fiora maybe for duelists?
Fiora would be great too.
Grand duelist?
I mean, yeah, Jax would be a good one. Like, but are you seeing the pattern there?
Yeah, AD, slippery, take towers fast.
Yeah, what do the 4 defending need? You mentioned that. Zyra and Heimerdinger are actually great.
They have, like, turrets.
Yeah, but why is that good? What do those turrets do? Let's say the enemy team is 5 trying to shit on your towers while Master Yi is derping around top.
Sustain damage?
Sustain damage, sure. To do what?
To... just poke them off your turrets. Like, if they try to go in, they just get destroyed, I guess.
Okay. Why would they get destroyed, though? What if they're minions tanking the tower? And they have a wombo combo team, and they just burst all forward.
Too. Yeah, you just highlighted it.
Yeah, wave clear, okay. So Zyra and Heimerdinger are great because they can wave clear. You need to be able to stall. So that and you're stalling for the Master Yi or the Tryndamere or the split pusher, right? To go and take objectives on the other side of the map, create pressure. Then when people awkwardly both recall, then you have a 4v3 on the other side of the map or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or if they send 5, then you just take something as 4 on the other side of the map. So this is a really...
like take a tower or a dragon or something.
Yeah, this is kind of hard to pull off. Like, even in Diamond, like, I have people that don't understand where they need to be split pushing or when they need to be grouping or something like that. Like, I played a game on stream the other day where we had a Yorick top that would have teleport up, and, like, Baron would be up, Dragon would be down, and he'd just be splitting top. And we're like, no.
Speaking of teleport...
What's up?
I use it a lot to, like... take objectives. Like, instead of using it to get back to lane, I'll always save it to either gank or to like help contest an objective.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, a lot of people just think it's to get top faster so you don't have to walk all the way back.
I would... This kind of stuff, by the way, you're in Silver 5. Nobody knows this shit down there.
Yeah, I know.
So you're just learning this stuff. You're going to become very frustrated when your noob teammates who are just brand new to the game...
Yeah.
Like, so don't worry about what the other players are doing. And, like, I can show you, like, I can give you some junglers to climb with if you just want to, like, split push to gold or plat or whatever. But we're just explaining this because this is what you wanted to go over, and it's your lesson, okay?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to talk about what Vince said in chat. He had a really good one. The global pressure comp. Have you ever seen this one?
Yeah, like Shen or Gangplank or something?
Yeah, so here, tell me all the people you can think of. So Shen, Gangplank.
Global ults pretty much.
Okay, who's that?
Ashe, Ezreal, Draven.
What about in the jungle? Do you have anybody that has globals
Rek'Sai?
here? Rek'Sai has a global one. She's also good for split pushing because of that global. It lets her teleport. Who else? Nocturne, Karthus.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff like that. Rengar might be semi-global just because he can ult. TF might be a good one.
Oh yeah, Twisted Fate. I used to hate mid lane, and then I got Twisted Fate, and I really enjoy him.
He's like the god of solo queue because you can just do so many things.
Yeah, he's helped me a lot with looking at the map. Because every time I have my ult up, I'm always looking for the enemy to overextend so I can just
like I recommend Shin, Nocturne, Twisted Fate for like learning map awareness, because if you don't use the map awareness, you're going to lose the game. So and their kits are usually pretty simple. Like Twisted Fate, there isn't really anything too crazy there. It's like pick the right card, so it frees up a lot of brain space and brain bandwidth to look at the map. But this is another one that's pretty good. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do, like, oh no, they're catching our AD carry, Shin ult, Gangplank alt, Darkness, Karthus clicks R. There's just a bunch of things like that happening. So this is actually pretty good. Shen support used to be a thing too, and then it didn't matter.
I've played Shen jungle before, like when he was in the free rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's supposed to go top, but it works pretty well for me going
Yeah.
Shen jungle.
Shen jungle is weird. Like you can play it into gank heavy junglers, and then you just pretty much power farm, and then anytime the gank heavy jungler ganks, you just ult in and counter gank. Yeah. It's really weird, but it only works like if you have that gank heavy jungler, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's a slower clear than most other junglers, and you just fall behind. So it can work.
All right. Yeah, Twisted Fate has helped me a lot with looking at the map more. So
I want to type this too, because I'm reading what Vince has been saying. Also for that split push comp, the other four need a zone of no entry. Like if you enter that zone, it's kind of like a siege comp. You're going to get poked down, so they try to keep you off of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because like Zyra, if you get too close to too many turrets, then she just ults and they become super powered.
Yeah, and then all your health's gone, and you're like, why? You're a support though. What?
Yeah. I got Zyra a while ago, but I'm really bad at her, so I don't play her very often.
No worries, me too. There's too many champs and not enough time to learn them all. All right, come on, let's see if we can get 2 more comps. All right. Another thing here. Can I just tell you one?
Mm-hmm.
And then you only have to come up with one more.
Okay.
It's another split pushing comp. Okay. This one is a 1-3-1.
All right.
So, can you think of an example of this?
No.
Have you ever seen a Shaco jungle player?
Shaklone?
Yeah, Shaklone, something like that. What does he usually do in his games?
I don't know. He just like trolls people with Shaco.
Yeah, so he trolls early, he tries to snowball his lanes and get ahead, and then late game he turns into one of these guys, right? So normally what you want is 3 people that have this, and then you have one other person that can split push with teleport or some global ult, like Shen is a good example. So you have Shen, then you have another guy that can split push too, like a Shaco, and you have these 3 people that just have so much wave clear, so much zone of no entry, that you kind of like pressure the enemy team to the point where they just break, where something has to give. So that's kind of interesting. And there's some other stuff you can do too, like as a support, you can buy like ZZ Rod and Banner Command to help with this. But it's pretty much, instead of the 1-4, we have 4 people on one side of the map, 1 on the other. You have 3 in the middle, 1 top, 1 bot, and you're pushing every lane at once. And the idea is if they go to stop one of the lanes, the other 2 will take 2 things while they only take 1. So it's a really good strategy. Can you think of what strategy this would like kind of screw up?
A team fighting comp?
Yeah, team fighting comp. Hey, we want a 5v5. What are you guys doing? You just hurry up and group. Come on. Or the wombo. Like if you split up a wombo, sure, they'll be able to burst down 1 person. Great, there's 4 bar taking your towers, right?
Yeah.
So something like that. The Death Ball is very good at countering this because you just run around and burst people. Death Ball, let's call it a catch comp too. So that's stuff like Twisted Fate, Ashe, a lot of burst damage like Rengar, Nocturne, things like that, okay?
Long range CC, where you can like catch someone out where they don't think they could get cut out.
Yeah, sure, but as long as you can follow up and murder them. But something like that, right? People are saying, is that really a comp? Yeah, if you watch old CLG, they used to do this, and that's how they won, because people just didn't know how to react to it. But I would argue this is different than this. You have to play differently, you have to build differently for it. You need a lot more wave clear for this to work. If you have like an Ezreal AD carry, you're not going to win if you try to 1-3-1. Unless he's one of the ones. But then if we look at him, he probably doesn't have that great a wave clear anyway, so it's like, All right, what's another team comp? Can you think of one? And again, if you can't, that's fine.
I have no clue.
Alright. The Mummy's asking, how would a 1-3-1 do against a poke comp? What do you think, man? What do you think, Nobles? How would a 1-3-1 which is when you have one strong split pusher that can do this stuff and another one in like the two side lanes, and then you have three people wave clearing in the mid. How would that do against a poke comp?
I think it would be good.
Yeah, I do too. It would kind of shit on it. Why would it be good?
Because the poke is just trying to poke them down, but while they're trying to like waste time and just get them low, there's two people in each other lane just pushing.
Yeah, and these three are doing the exact same thing, right? They have poke, they have disengage and peel, and they have wave clear probably. So it's like a stalemate mid, and then there's the two side lanes where you're losing if you're the poke comp. So it's like, well, shit. And if you got to send your poker to go deal with the 1v1 duelists, your poker, I can't believe I just said that out loud. But you know what I mean? The poker is gonna not have a good time. They might get poked, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So something like that. All right, last one. My favorite example to talk about is something called a fast push comp. Have you ever heard of this?
Nope.
Can you guess what it might be?
Really good wave clear, maybe?
It's a comp that pushes fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good wave clear matters. What else might it have?
Good team fight, so while you're just...
Not really good team fight. It could have good team fight, but that's not what defines this comp.
Okay.
Here, I'll just tell you some stuff. Good wave clear, really fast damage to towers. So, like, think of Ziggs, think of Tristana, like champions that are designed to take down towers really, really fast. And you want a lot of movement speed, too. So good tower damage, good movement. And the idea is you move around the map very, very quickly, and you outmaneuver the enemy team, and you just take all the towers before they have time to react.
Okay.
It's also helpful if they have good jungle control. So, like, a Nunu jungle could work because it has extra attack speed on the Blood Boil to speed up the AD carry to take towers faster. Imagine a Tristana at full attack speed, very scary. Also, you can control things like Barons, you can control things like Mountain Dragons. But this kind of comp, you don't see it as much anymore. It's very popular on the Chinese servers. And every once in a while, one of those teams will play against like one of the better EU teams and just shit on them because the EU team is like, wait, why isn't laning phase lasting for another 20 minutes? They've taken like the first 3 towers by 10 minutes or something. You know, so it's
Really?
kind of an interesting comp. Yeah. Let me show you my favorite game example in the universe.
I usually take first turret in like 15 to 20 minutes.
Hey, that's something you should work
one.
on. Where is it?
Really?
Here, I'm sorry, one sec.
I think the fastest I've ever taken a turret is one of the games I played with you, where you like ganked bot really early and we just took it in like 6 minutes or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, actually, you played with us, and we took it really fast, right? Because we were playing, like, Ziggs AD carry or something stupid. But
I think it was Caitlyn, actually.
that works, too. All right, I'm going to link you a game. I want you to watch it later. This is the optimal fast push comp, okay? This is a Heimerdinger jungle game in a world championship game, or it was like some grand finals of something. And the team had a comp picked to counter a very predictable team that they were playing in the finals. Like, they gave the team all their comfort picks, and then they just abused it with, like, a pre-planned comp. And it was amazing.
Your jungle.
They got an inhibitor at, like, 10 minutes. And at 10 minutes, you don't have the damage to clear, super minions. But I just want you to watch this, and I want you to just be amazed, because it is literally the best game I've ever watched.
Alright.
But that's kind of an example of a fast push comp there. And watch that link, and you will learn. But there are a bunch of different ways to play this game in our continent in solo queue. You usually don't see a lot of these. Like, I can't remember the last time I had a good siege comp. And even if I had the champions for it, I can't remember the last time they didn't get, caught out left and right and we just lost the game in 20 minutes because people executed it poorly.
So what do you see a lot out of these comps?
I see a lot of this. This is like the most common thing. I see a lot of split pushing too. Like, usually it's one guy's like, I'm just going to play Tryndamere jungle or Tryndamere top. Just don't feed. I'll win. I'm elo boosting. I need to pay rent this month. Just don't fuck up. It's something like that, right?
Yeah, I like number 4, not number 4, number 5, the split push.
Uh-huh.
I'll play. I usually do it when I play Alawi top.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a good split pusher, but
Alawai, I would argue. Okay, here, let's see. Is she a good split pusher? Walk me through the criteria. Does she have wave clear?
yeah.
Yep. Does she take towers fast?
She built her like bruiser-ish.
Probably not, right? Like compare her to like a Master Yi or a Zed. Probably not taking towers fast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so meh. So she's 1 for 2 so far. Is she slippery? Is it easy for her to get away?
Not really.
Not
but
really.
She's a good duelist.
So she's 2 for 4.
Yeah, which is enough.
Usually you want all 4. But at the same time, if they come to deal with you and you just kill all of them, I mean,
yeah,
that works
I'll
too.
Say I can like at least 1v3 them. Like I'll get fed or something, and I'll say if they send any random 3, then I can still 1v3 them. And then they send all 5, and I'm like, well, it's 5v1. Can you guys push a lane or take dragon? And they're like, what?
Yeah. Again, what rank are you right now?
Silver 5.
Do people know what they're doing?
No.
I'm so sorry that you're getting coaching and learning about this, because you are just going to become so self-aware of how good you are compared to everybody else on your team. And you are going to get salty and frustrated. You're going to go from the Nopples I know to the NA Opples, you know, the salt. And it's going to be bad, you know. Because NA is sodium, guys. It's a chemistry joke, okay? Calm down. But anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. But these are all the team comps that I would probably focus on. There's some other goofy ones, you know, like we could probably make up some bullshit if you wanted to as well. Like another one might be protect the carry. You know,
the turtle.
Yeah, protect the Kog'Maw. That's when you have like a Shen top, a Lulu mid, who would be good as a support, like a Janna. You know, and then in the jungle, maybe like a Nunu or someone that'll like make the Kog'Maw or whatever hyper carry you have just have so many stats. I say Nunu because his Blood Boil fully max gives like Kog'Maw like a recurve bow worth of attack speed or something. It's just really, really good. So if
would Taric be good in a protect the ADC?
Yeah, because Taric clicks R and now he's protecting the ADC, gives him extra armor.
Yeah, I like
gives
Taric.
Healing.
He's like my 3rd top support.
Yeah, and you take wind speakers on him, give everybody around you extra resistances too. So yeah, he'd be great in that kind of comp.
All right.
And yeah, so that's good that you're thinking that way, because I think the next thing we're going to do is tie into your champ pool or talk about different items and strategies for these.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to go to next? Because I think this is a pretty damn good list. You know?
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'll send you this afterwards. I'll probably throw this video up on YouTube, because I try not to repeat lessons too often. I started doing like the same, here's how you gank lesson over and over and over. This one is actually something I haven't talked about before, so I'll throw this up on YouTube.
All right, that's cool.
Gramham remembering. I just posted that video, actually, Gramham. It's up there when we were coaching Darkness. Here, what's up? Angry Bayesian asking, tell him that doesn't work at all times. In gold, people know how to deal easy, even in silver 3. What are you talking about, Angry Bayesian?
I think it might be talking about split pushing.
Yeah, people started to learn how to deal with split pushing. Like, how would you deal with a split pusher? Let's say it's a Tryndamere split pushing. It's a 1-4.
Me?
Yeah, how would you deal with it, Nopples?
For the Tryndamere...
I'm coaching you. I'm not coaching the chat right now.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe like a Teemo so he can't auto attack you.
Yeah, that could work. And kite him around forever.
Yeah.
Let's say here, pick one of these champions that you are playing and tell me what you specifically could do on one of these champions. Here, let's go through each one actually. So a Mumu or Zac, if you wanted to deal with the Tryndamere split pushing, what would you do?
I don't think a Mumu could deal with him.
Well, you can, but you do it via your choices. And remember what we're talking about, different items and strategies that tie into your champ pool. So what can you do? First of all, if you're playing a Mumu and Zac, why are you playing them versus like a Kayle?
Because you want a tanky AP champion.
Yep, tanky AP champion. So you need to be tanky. You need to have more resistances. If there's someone split pushing...
maybe like build a Randuin's.
Randoms would be good. So let me ask you, are you dealing with the Tryndamere split pushing? Is it going to be your job as a Mumu or Zac to go 1v1 the Tryndamere?
Well, a Mumu, I don't think so, but
Nope.
I think Zac can 1v1 pretty well.
He might be able to. He also might not be able to if Tryndamere gets to play the Ruined King. I think you're just lunch for him. I don't think like you have to actually be there. There's something else I would recommend. One of the people in chat has said it. Everyone else is wrong.
Is it GCM7?
I'm not going to name names. Actually, GCM7 is right
they
too.
both have pretty good engage. You could force a fight, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, engage and force the fight so that somebody has time to recall and get the Tryndamere. So actually, that's right. Apologies, GCM7. You were right. There's someone else. Muvuk has said it. Gramham has said it.
ZZ Rot?
Why would ZZ Rot be amazing at stopping his split pushing?
Because it spawns extra minions.
It spawns extra minions. It stalls them. So here, let's do this. You want to be orange team or blue team?
I'll be orange.
You're gonna have a wombo combo team. Okay, you got your Amumu. Who else are we playing? Give me a wombo combo.
Amumu, Orianna, Malphite, Yasuo, Misfortune.
Beautiful. Okay, Yasuo support. Whatever. We'll do it. It'll be fine.
I see it all the time in bronze.
Fantastic. I'm sure you do. So you're probably pushing down mid, something like that, right? And they're probably here cowering. And they have pretty damn good wave clear. They have, let's say, a Ziggs, a Lux support. They have a Sivir. You know, she's just ricocheting through there. And their jungle is something stupid like a... What actually has a good wave? Let's say it's a Graves. He can just throw his Q out there and clear minion waves pretty easily.
Or they can have a Heimerdinger jungle.
They can have Heimerdinger jungle, like Good Game University. Sure, let's say it's that.
Yes.
So they have damn near impossible wave clears. So what can you do as a Mumu?
I could engage.
Yeah, you can tower dive and start the wombo, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you do that. What items do you need to build if your job is going to be to tower dive and start the wombo?
Resistance, armor, and magic resist.
Not magic resist, right? Why not magic resist?
Do turrets only do AD?
Turrets only do physical damage.
Okay.
So your job is to have health and armor.
But what about the Heimerdinger that ults and then you're just getting shot by that?
So do you have smite as a jungler?
Yes.
You can smite his turrets.
I like Nunu because you can just eat his turrets.
Yeah, because you just eat his turrets. Nunu's hilarious, right?
I love Nunu. He's probably like my third favorite champ to play, even though he's horrible.
He's fantastic right now, actually. It's just you need teammates with brains. Here, I'll play a Nunu game tonight, too.
That's my problem.
No worries, no worries. You can still carry him. Maybe I'll show you how tonight. Nunu's one of my favorites. I almost have him at level 7, so I got to get that bad manners crest.
Yeah.
Okay, so
most important part.
So there's a Heimerdinger. What kind of damage does your WE and ult do on a Mumu?
AP.
Right, but not AP or physical. Is it single target? Is it AoE?
Oh, it's AoE.
All his towers are going to die. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The big one might stay alive. Smite it. Okay.
Okay.
So your job is to just engage, and are you gonna wait around? Are you gonna be like, maybe we'll wait till the next wave to go in?
No.
No, why not?
Because then Tryndamere is just taking turrets.
Yeah, he's just taking all your shit. So you need to very quickly engage. Now, what else could you buy that would help you with the engage, and that would stall Tryndamere? And we talked about it in chat.
ZZ Rot?
Yeah, why would ZZ Rot be amazing?
Because you can make it harder for him to push.
Yeah, so let's say these two towers are up. Where would you put your ZZ Rot and why? He's pushing this lane. He's got a minion wave right around here. Where would you want your ZZ Rot?
I have no idea. I've seen you put it like behind the turret so that they have to take the turret before they can kill it.
I would put it right here.
Yeah.
And let me.
You put it behind it, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I put it behind so they have to actually click the ground next to the turret, and like half the player base doesn't even know how to do that. So it's just kind of funny. It'll be really hard for them to take it.
Is it possible to like put it that they can't attack the Zizura until they take the turret?
It's not, because what you do, like here, this is my cursor in the game. I just click A, and then I click closer to the Zizurot than the turret, and then I'll automatically lock on to the closest targetable thing.
I didn't even know that.
Well, now you do. So like my favorite ward is this one. I actually had to spend a custom game learning how to clear this ward. Like oh my god, that is huge. You put like a pink ward or a blue trinket behind the Baron.
Okay. And
you have to do that same thing where you hit A to attack click the ground next to the ward. If you don't do that, you right click the Baron if you're just right clicking things like a dummy. And then you aggro the Baron, and then it takes out half your health while you're trying to clear a pink. So same kind of concept here. Good players of good mechanics will be able to clear it. But again, if you put this ZZ Rot like here, the reason for it... Actually, here, you tell me. Why would this be a good spot? You said it's hard for him to clear it.
Yeah.
What else?
Because he'll have to clear an entire turret and then get all the way up to it to clear it.
Vincent also has a very good point. ZZ Rot is best top because then you have ZZ top. Sorry, we're old. It's a pop star. Whatever. Don't.
Is it a band?
It's a band. We're
Okay.
old. I thought it was funny. I'm dated. But yeah. So it's going to be pushing top, right? Every few seconds, it's going to be pooping out a little minion, right?
Well, what I meant was like, if you put it under the first turret, then he'll just clear the turret and then clear the ZZ Rot. But if you put it behind the second, like the inhibitor turret, then
Yeah, he has to clear 2
going.
before he can get it, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So it'll be better. Like, okay, so let's say this. Let's say this turret was still up. Where would you put it?
I don't think they would get to that turret if it was way back there.
Yeah, the ZZ minions. Let's say you put your ZZ top over here. The range on these minions is about like right about here, and they're like no health. They're doing nothing.
Yeah, they lose health over time.
So figure if you put it here, you know, it'll go out to like about here, right?
Yeah, don't they like dive inside of a turret and like damage it?
Yeah,
so to an enemy turret.
So if you put it here, it would actually kill this tower eventually if you left it alone.
If they left it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know, Tryndamere, he's not leaving it alone. He's killed this tower already, right? So
yeah. So
this tower is dead. So again, the question is here or here. Like, why is one better than the other? And if you're wrong, it's fine. We'll just talk about it.
So putting it behind the next turret instead of the first one?
Yeah, I would put it here. Why though?
The only reason I would think is because it would just keep pushing even if he took the first one.
Exactly. It'll stall him longer off your inhibitor.
Yeah.
If you put it here and he takes the first one, he's going to just take the ZZ top and then it's worth 100 gold, so he gets extra gold too, right? And then you're just sad.
Yeah.
But if you put it here, it'll protect this tower and this tower. And it'll push the minions out to, like, I think about here. Now, the minions are the important part. The little ZZ Voidling bullshit things. The mini ZZ tops. They're pushing out here. And what'll happen is Tryndamere will be wave clearing. He'll instantly clear a wave. And then the stupid ZZ things will hold the minions up. And it'll keep stalling the wave from pushing up.
So, isn't the ZZ Rot the minions' health based off your max health?
Yeah, it scales, I believe, with your armor and magic resist the damage it does. Here, let's actually see. I don't know if it scales of your max health, so it's really good on tanky things, right? It's less good on other things. Spawns a void. What's up?
I thought every fourth ZZ Rot minion was based on yours.
The first and every fourth void spawn gains 15% of your maximum health as damage. So this used to scale of armor and magic resist. I am wrong. You are right. Now it scales of max health.
So it'd be good on like Zac?
It'd be good on Zac, it'd be good on a Mumu.
Yeah.
So this is probably better against a split pusher, though, because maybe on Zac you want a GA, which gives you your armor and magic resist, and that might be better, you know, if they're not split pushing, if you're up against a Wombo combo team or something. But this, if you're up against a Tryndamere, build this. It's very gold efficient as is. It makes you run faster when you're engaging under towers so that you can catch people out. And it gives you this passive, which gives you gold every time one of the little mini guys kills things, and it stalls out that Tryndamere. So it's very good in split pushing situations. And if you put it here, it would make it so Tryndamere can't get to this tower and can't get to this tower as quickly. He'll still get to it eventually, but he actually has to murder each ZZ minion thing. And that buys your team time to destroy the other 4 over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as in a Mumu, or as a Zac, as a tanky person, that's how I would deal with that kind of comp.
Like
Makes
if you're
sense.
trying to split push as Singed, it's a good item too, because you can't push very fast.
Singed pushes insanely fast. He's one of the faster pushers in the game because he just
he doesn't take turrets very fast though.
Right, he doesn't take turrets very fast. So like yeah, he puts it in a place where it'll hit the tower, and he's making the enemy team chase him through like their own base. And while that's going on, the ZZ Rod is doing all the work, taking the tower of all the minions because he's probably farming 3 waves of minions in the base while they're chasing him. Right. So Singed is my favorite champ to play. He is so much fun. I always have the biggest, goofiest smile on my face.
He's one of my top like fun champs, but not if I'm actually trying to win.
Oh, that's too bad,
I don't really know how to play him to win. I only play him to troll.
I play a mean Singed jungle, and I play to win and troll at the same time with him. It's pretty good.
I wish I could do that.
All right, so let's move on. Does that kind of make sense? So on a Mumu and Zac, you need to get some kind of armor, some kind of health, so that you can tower dive and initiate and make it so Tryndamere doesn't have any time to split. And also getting a ZZ Rot would be amazing. And someone else on your team can get it too. It doesn't have to be you. It's just I'm saying if no one else is, if like your team is like, if you're like, hey guys, can you get a ZZ Rot to stop Tryndamere from split pushing? They're like, kill yourself, noob.
Yeah.
You can still build that on these champions, right?
Yeah.
All right, what about Kayle? What can you do on Kayle against that same situation?
You might be able to 1v1 him because you kind of have the same ult, except you can't take damage. He just can't die.
Yeah, if you time your Kale stuff properly, I think you can actually just beat him. It depends. Remember, you can slow, so you'd have to kite really well. You might want some kind of like GA type thing too on top of it, but Kale could actually just 1v1 him.
Yeah.
Probably Gunblade, so you're healing while you're doing damage as well. But Kale might be a 1v1. She could also be the part of your wombo combo, like dive comp on the other half of the map that wave clears and takes towers fast, or kills the enemy team while they're all stunned. I mean, that's the thing Kale can do as well.
Just because she does so much damage?
Yeah, just because she does so much damage and it's AoE damage, right?
Isn't it really small, though? The AoE?
No, if you have Hurricane and you're doing a bunch of on-hit stuff, it's area of effect. And if you have the Hurricane, it's hitting 3 things at once, remember?
Okay, yeah.
It's splash damage. Think of her kind of like a Kog'Maw, like that kind of range.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, less good for that split pushing thing, in my opinion, just because, like, you're kind of relying on your teammates to know when to engage, and then you follow up, or you have to just go deal with the Fed Tryndamere who probably shat on your top laner, but it could still work. What about Rek'Sai?
She could probably just, like, team fight, and then right when he gets to the turret, like, after he's pushed up the wave, then you could ult over and deal with them.
Actually, yeah, you could do that for sure. Could you buy ZZ Rod on Rek'Sai?
Yep.
Yeah,
probably.
Same thing. What about Hecarim?
Not too familiar with him. He might be able to 1v1 Tryndamere.
He won't be able to 1v1 a Tryndamere.
Okay, well then I'm wrong.
Unless you're really fed and the Tryndamere is very bad.
Then he's probably part of the team fight.
He is going to be the one diving the tower and starting the team fight, okay? Can he build a ZZ
I
Rod?
keep thinking of him as being like an AD champ.
He is an AD champ. He does damage.
But, like, a lot of damage. Like, I build him full damage, but that's probably wrong.
I would say that Hecarim is better as a 1 damage item tank. Like a Triforce into tank. And even the Triforce has health in it, right?
What about, like, a Titanic or a Ravenous Hydra?
Titanic would be good on Rek'Sai, but it would be bad on Hecarim. Why would I say it's bad on Hecarim?
I'm not sure.
He's not auto attack based. Most of his damage is on his Q, which is just AoE around him. He can still auto attack, sure, but he's not going to be auto attacking you to death. Rek'Sai has like 3 auto attack resets. Like her Q resets her auto attack, her E resets her auto attack. So you can do
That's another thing I've been trying to work on with champs is auto attack resets.
Like on Rek'Sai, if you have Titanic Hydra, you can auto attack Q, E, Titanic really, really fast, and they're just deleted. You know, so like you can do stuff like that. Hecarim, you can't. You're like, I auto attacked you, and I hit Q, which didn't cancel my auto attack or anything. I just hit Q, and it's on like a 3 to 4 second cooldown depending on my CDR, and then I hit my Titanic active. You know, that's it. It's not the greatest. It's okay on him. It's just there are better items. Like a Black Cleaver would be better than Titanic in my opinion, because you're doing AoE, physical damage to everything around you. It gives you cooldown reduction, so more Qs. It speeds you up, stuff like that. Okay.
Mhm.
Something like that. Okay, Vince is giving me a category of champs to play tonight, so that's good. I will do that. I want to see what this is. Oh my god, that is beautiful.
Is that ZZ Top?
That is ZZ Top in all their old glory.
Alright.
I'm going to save that as well.
Make it your desktop.
I could, but I like my tryharder desktop. Got to stick to my guns. I'll tell you what that is later if you guys don't know.
Is that another band?
Nope. Don't worry about it. Secrets. Alright, here, going back to this though. So Hecarim, you can build a ZZ Rod on him. He likes going fast. ZZ Rod makes him go fast. He likes the armor. He likes the magic resist. It'll stall Tryndamere, same kind of thing. What about Kindred?
It probably wants to team fight.
It probably wants to team fight. It's following up. So Kindred is not going to have a good time against Tryndamere. So if they have a Tryndamere locked, who are you probably going to try to pick from your champ pool?
Well, what about the rest of my team? What are they?
Oh, good. I'm glad you say that. I don't know. Tell me, what are the rest of your team? Do you want to look at one of your past games and we can just talk about it?
Yeah, maybe we could base it off that.
Here, so let me make this larger so we can
I
actually
play
see
a
something.
lot of champs, especially when there's a new rotation. I try to try them all so I can get more familiar.
All right, so let me see. I'm
In
looking for.
ranked, I play 2 champs, which is Thresh and Amumu.
That's fine. I'm looking for. Here's a Tryndamere game, right? He was on your team, or no? Yeah, he was on your team.
Okay.
So let's say you're on the enemy team, and this is what they picked. This is what they gave you, and your last pick, you're the jungler. So you have an Ari mid, Yasuo top with Ignite, which means he's not going to be teleporting at all, and you have Jinx and Alistar. What do you think you're going to play? And here's your new champ pool that we decided, right?
Yes.
So let's look, and I want you to walk me through the logic. So you have what kind of damage is Yasuo?
Physical.
Okay, what kind of damage is Jinx?
Physical.
So 2 physical. What kind of damage is Alistar?
Not much, but magical.
Not really anything, right? He's not a damage champ. Let's ignore him. Good that you said that. What kind of damage is Ari?
Magical.
So we got 2 physical, 1 magical. What are you probably leaning towards?
A tank.
No. What kind of damage are you leaning towards?
Oh, damage. If I'm on that team,
If you're on this red team and you have to decide your jungler,
probably AP.
probably AP. Why AP?
Because you usually want to have 2 and 2.
Yeah, you usually want to balance team comp so they can't just stack armor or stack magic resist. Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Simple questions, simple answers. So already these guys, nope. Not paying attention to them. Okay, so do we want a Kale or do we want an Amumu or a Zac? What do you think? And ignore the fact that Amumu was already picked. Whatever.
Yeah, that was me, I think.
No. You were the Thresh this game, so don't worry about it.
That was?
But we're this
Okay, whatever.
we're this red team. Just because they have a Tryndamere up here, who's probably going to be split pushing, right?
Yeah.
So tank or
Probably
damage?
Amumu or Zac,
Why tank?
because we only have one other than me.
Yeah, you have damage, so you probably want a little bit of tank to either start the party up or follow up on the Alistar if he is good with his headbutt pulverized combo, right?
Yeah, Malphite looks like a good choice actually.
Yeah, Malphite's nice. Why would Malphite and Alistar be good?
Well, I think Malphite and Yasuo.
Yeah, knock up for Yasuo. Like, it'd be pretty amazing. And while that's going on, Jinx can throw traps. Ari gets a free stun with her charm. Damage. It'd be pretty solid, actually. Okay,
Yeah.
but here, who would probably be better for this comp? Amumu or Zac, and why?
Probably Zac.
Why Zac?
He's got a little better engage with his E.
I like that. Why else Zac? There's a very specific reason that has to do with one of the champions in this comp that Zac would be amazing.
I'm not sure.
Do you play a lot of Zac?
Yeah,
What happens when you jump in with your E?
you knock them out.
You knock them up. What happens when you ult?
You knock them away.
Who likes things being knocked away on this pink team?
Yasuo.
Yeah, Yasuo. That's why you were saying Malphite would be amazing, right?
Yeah, with his ult.
So Zac can E in, and even if he misses the E, he can just ult, and then Yasuo can ult off of that. He has 2 chances to knock everybody up. And when you're Zac, you're bouncing around, ulting, right? Anybody you run into gets knocked around. Yasuo can literally ult off of anybody you bump into. So I like the Zac there. So I like that you said magic. I like that you said tanky because your team doesn't have enough of that, and you kind of need the engage to set up the Yasuo because you have like a mini wombo. The mini wombo is the Yasuo ult, and the Alistar can like chain his CC with yours. Then Ari kind of throws in damage, but she's more single target burst, and then Jinx will just be right clicking, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Why else would this be better than Kale?
Well, Kale has no knockups. Kale doesn't really have much engage. He's not tanky.
Not tanky. Also, you're going to need someone to go deal with the Tryndamere probably, and like
I'd say probably Ari to deal with Tryndamere.
probably Yasuo to deal with the Tryndamere, but like who's
Well,
gonna...
he's part of the Wombo though.
But he's part of the Wombo. See, so it's like, what do you do? I think what you want to do is actually buy a ZZ Rot, try to Wombo as 5 against the 4, take a tower real quick, and then like rotate up there and like stop the Tryndamere by the time he gets to the ZZ Rot, the ZZ Top. I'm going to say that every time now. But then you probably shove out the wave, group, take something, By the time Tryndamere pushes it back, because remember there's ZZ Rot pressure happening up here, you just go up here, re-push it back out, and you're good. And it's just that kind of really boring back and forth. And then hopefully their team just starts raging at the Tryndamere for not grouping, and they surrender before he actually takes your inhibitor. But something like that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, makes sense?
Yep.
Hex, welcome to the stream. We are talking through team comps and stuff and trying to build Concha Noob's champ pool. So going through decision making, what would be good where. All right, so that's how I would play against like a split pushing comp. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, pick another comp. Like, let's figure out what you want to build and play into it, okay?
All right. Well, let's go with one of the less common ones.
Less common ones, okay.
Because then if they whip it out, then I'll know how to actually counter it.
Are you sure you don't want to do one of the, common ones that you see every game?
I don't know. I guess. Like,
Okay.
I think I might know how to deal with them already, but probably I'm doing the wrong thing.
Hey, it's up to you, man. It's your coaching session. I'm just here answering questions.
I guess we should go with the more common ones until I start climbing at least.
I mean, have you ever seen like a global pressure comp?
Nope.
Because I can tell you how to deal with it, but like again, okay, great. You know how to deal with that 1 in 1,000 game that'll pop up.
Yeah. Now that I hear what you're saying, I think that's a better idea to just talk about the common ones.
So the common ones I see are like this, and then that split push, which we already just kind of talked about, right?
Yeah, I agree. That's the ones I see too.
So Wombo, let's do that one, okay?
All right.
What's a Wombo combo again?
5 burst cooldowns.
Yeah, for sure. High burst on a high cooldown.
Yeah, high cooldown burst is what I meant.
High cooldown burst. So you have a very strong, scary fight that's on a long cooldown, like a 2-minute cooldown, like really scary ults, like Malphite ult, a Mumu ult, Yasuo ult. All those things working together. So if you wanted to beat this comp, how would you do it?
Split push.
Yeah, why
So,
split
like,
push?
Because then they can't get your whole team with it. Like, if they all use their combos on 4 of you, then you might push as far as the rest of their team if you're split pushing, but probably not.
Yeah, another thing you can do, they have a choice then if you're split pushing. I would recommend like a 1-3-1 to deal with a Wombo combo.
Yeah.
You need your 3 to play safe, and then the 1s can do whatever, right? But the idea is you put so much pressure on the map that even if they use their burst, okay, cool, you killed someone, you got a tower. Well, the 1s on the other side of the map, they each took a tower, and now they're pressuring your base while you're on this high cooldown. It's like, well, shit, you're losing more than you're gaining. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here, let's talk about, they have a Wombo combo team. Let's go through each champ again, and how would you build and play against them? Let's say you're a Mumu or Zek. What items would be really good to, like here, you said split up a Wombo combo team, right?
Yeah.
What items could you build here that would be really good?
Items, maybe like well, not really on a guard. A Guardian Angel is what I was gonna say, but like not really on a tank.
Actually, Guardian Angel would be amazing. Not to split them up, but for another reason. So on a tank,
if they blow their giant cooldown, then you'll just respawn.
Yeah, now they have to kill you again, but they don't have their giant cooldown, right?
Yeah,
and
but
so
like on a tank, if you die, I mean, Zach already has a Guardian Angel.
Okay, now they have to kill him 3 times.
Yeah. So like I was thinking on if an ADC got a Guardian Angel, then
Guardian Angel would be very good item. God, I don't know what this is. Apparently there's a place near where I live. But check this out. So Guardian Angel, what does it do? It gives you armor, gives you magic resist, and then this unique
gives you
passive.
another life.
Yeah, so it restores the
Gives you,
greater...
like, a weak Zillion ult.
It gives you a strong Zillion ult.
Well, like less health, because Zillion ult is like full health, right?
Depends. No, Zillion ult scales of AP.
Oh, really?
So it depends on how much AP the Zillion has. It gives you base health back, and then also it depends how much AP he has. But here, upon taking lethal damage, restores the greater of 700 health or 30% of maximum health and 30% of maximum mana.
Wait, what if you get it when you don't have a max 700 health?
What do you mean?
Well,
like let's say...
I know you probably wouldn't, but if you were level 1 with like 500 or 600 max health, then which one is it?
It would restore 700 health, but you only have 600 health, so it would only give you 600 because you can only have 600.
So it wouldn't give you a 100 health shield?
Yeah, unfortunately
Dang.
not. It doesn't like overheal. It just heals you to the max in that situation. But on like an 80 carry who usually has like 1,000 to 2,000 health depending on the point in the game, that 700 health is essentially a second life. Let's say you're a 5,000 health Zac. How much is 30% of 5,000?
It's too late to do math.
1,500 health. Is that a lot or a little?
That's a lot. That's like an 80 carries max health.
That's like an 80 carries max health, yeah. So it's really good on tanks, and especially on a tank like Zac, who also has like a Guardian Angel passive, like you said. So to defeat Burst, you want to just give something that makes you kind of resistant to it. If they can't burst you down and kill you, great. We used our big burst. We killed them, right? Oh, wait, no, they all have GAs. Fuck, they're all alive.
And then another item I was thinking is Zanya's, because you could just interrupt it.
Zanya's would be good.
Interrupt their burst.
You could build that in a Mumu and Zac, although I would argue that the health items are better. So, like, but I mean, pick one of them, sure. Like Zanya's or that. I like the GA a little bit better.
Zanya's is better on, like, mages.
Yeah, it's better on the squishy mages that, although like a Mumu, he can build it. He likes the cooldown reduction, he likes the ability power, he likes the armor. I'm just saying, like why not get a GA and keep stacking health on him? It depends how you play him. Like, you can play him that way, you can do it. You can definitely do that on Zac if you want. I feel like it's kind of bad manners because there are better items, but you can do it.
Yeah, but if you E and then Zanya's mid-leap, you freeze mid-air, and it looks cool.
Really? I'll have to try that. So, okay.
I mean, it works with, like, Katarina. If you teleport to someone, and then use Zanya's, you'll, like, appear in the air above them. It's
Well,
really
check and mate. Why aren't we just building 6 of those? I mean...
Exactly.
No. Okay, so, yes.
Exactly.
Anything that interrupts the burst. So I really like that. What would be other, like, stay alive items that'd be good for burst? Like, let's say you're playing Kindred. What would be... Like, you could build GA on any one of these champions, and it would be good against a Wombo combo. What would be good on Kindred specifically, or Kayle?
Her ult, or its ult.
Yeah, but you can't build an ult. Like, if you wanted to build an item. The Kindred ult would be really, really good against this. I would just stay and use it to negate their Wombo.
Maybe like a Locket of the Iron Solari?
Locket would be good on tanks probably, but on Kindred specifically, what would be a good item? What's your job as Kindred? To tank?
Do damage.
To do damage. So what kind of damage item would still like give you a little more survivability? Not Zhonya's.
Yeah, because she's AD. It's AD. Maybe like a Quicksilver Sash?
That could work. Like if you get CC'd.
Like if an Amumu ults you, then you could just get out of it, and then everyone else misses their AoE thing.
That could work. I'm not really thinking about that, but that could work. QSS. We said GA. We said Zhonya's could be good. We said Locket would be a good because it gives your team extra tankiness and stats. What else would be good? Let's say damage items. QSS isn't a damage item. It builds in a Mercurial thing, but not, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Native Shrub has it.
Maw?
Maw would be amazing. When would you build Maw?
Against an AP team, like high AP.
Against AP, so when the AP is fed. When would you build Sterix?
Against... Wait, doesn't it work with AP and AD?
It works with AP and AD, sure.
Does it?
It does.
Okay,
it's when you take a big burst of damage in a short amount of time, Sterix pops a shield. Maw is when you get below a certain amount of health from magic damage, it pops a shield. And then it gives you lifesteal and spell vamp until the end of the fight, which is really broken. So Maw is really good on champions like Kindred.
A lot of the time when I'm like against an AP champ, I'll just rush
Hexdrinker? Yeah. They probably hate you. Good, good.
They do.
Keep doing it.
I was playing Malzahar top, like, I think earlier today.
No, not on Malzahar. No.
No, not Maw on Malzahar. Someone built a Maw against me.
Oh, okay. And then you were sad. So do the things that make you sad when you see those champs on the other team. Okay, what else? I'm thinking 2 more items. Native Shrub has one of them. I like Death's Dance, although you probably want it with other items too. Do you know what Death's Dance does?
I don't know what it all does, like not everything that it does. I know it's like AD and lifesteal, right?
It's AD and lifesteal. It makes every bit of AD damage you do heal you. So on Kindred, you know, your Q is physical AD damage. It's healing you.
Oh, it's not just auto attacks?
It's not just auto attacks. So like on Kajik, suddenly your entire kit is healing you. So like Death Stance, really good for that. It also delays the damage you take. Instead of a big burst, it's a damage over time. So it's like tick, tick, tick instead of all at once.
That's weird.
Yeah, so the idea is you heal through that ticking and then you can stay alive a little bit longer. It's actually an item made for Kindred, as weird as that sounds. Like, because you're death and you dance with your Q. It fits. There's one more I'm thinking of that'll be really, really good for staying alive a little bit longer. It's more of a duelist item, but it can still work, with, especially with these other items. And if you don't know, that's fine. I'm just trying to, like, prep you if you're going to learn Kindred, okay? Native Shrub has it again. He must be a Kindred main.
Phantom Dancer?
Yeah, Phantom Dancer. Why would that be good?
All I ever see is there's like a Death's Defied thing at the bottom, and I don't know what it means.
Let me show you. We're looking it up on the internet. So it gives you attack speed. Great, we like that. Gives you movement speed. Cool, you move around faster. Gives you critical stat chance. That's cool too. Whatever. Oh, look, you get more movement speed. Great. This is the thing, the Lament passive here. Grants 12% damage reduction against the last enemy champion hit.
So you attack them and they do less damage to you?
They do 12% less damage to you.
Okay.
So if you're getting bursted and you're Kindred and you just click W and your wolf thing is just hitting someone, you're just taking 12% less damage, even if you're CC'd. Then on top of that, you have your Maw Malmortis, which is giving you a big old shield, you know? And then you also have your Death's Dance, your healing.
Does that work with, like, Ignite?
Yep. No, Ignited is true damage, actually. True damage, like Vayne, anything with true damage, like Fiora when she's hitting the weak spots, it does not reduce that. You cannot reduce true damage.
At all, like, ever?
It's true damage. It's damage that's true. It's not false damage.
Alright, so does that mean all other damage is false?
All their damage is false, though, and that can be reduced by stuff like Phantom Dancer. So that's why you'll see, like, Graves players stay alive forever, because they'll buy, like, some variation of these items, and it's just so freaking hard to burst them down and kill them. One thing, should you ever build Sterix and Maw at the same time?
Now that you're saying it, probably no.
But it seems pretty good, right?
Do they not stack?
They don't stack anymore.
Passive?
They used to. It used to be like the most broken, annoying thing ever because you could just never kill anybody. But you only get one of the shields now, so you got to choose either Sterix or Maw if you're thinking about building a shield damage item. Okay.
All right. I usually buy Sterix on tanks and Maw on squishies.
That works too. I mean, Maw can work on tanks as well. Like it could work on like these guys because they like AD.
Sterix is like core on Scion for me.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense too. He likes the shields. It makes sense.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah, so items like this can help. Here's some good tank items that can help. What else would be good? An item that you can buy. Let's say you're playing, Rek'Sai Hecarim. What's a good item you can buy that would help against the Wombo combo team? Think less about survivability and more about what we're saying. You want to split them up.
I don't know.
So Zz'Rot, right? Zz'Rot, we were dealing with split pushers, right?
Oh yeah.
Zz'Rot Banner of Command can work.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Isn't there like a Heimerdinger Zz'Rot Banner of Command, like unstoppable push thing is what I've heard? I have no idea what it is.
It used to be better because it used to empower your turrets, but it's not unstoppable. You just go and kill him. But what you do is
he'll ult a turret and then Zanya's, and then you can't kill him or something. And he'll buy Guardian Angel as well.
I mean, you can do that, but
it's just really annoying.
It's annoying. It's not unstoppable. You just have to be patient, and you kill his turret while he's Zonya's. Like you mentioned, you can just play Nunu. You can just eat his big turret, and then he's sad. You Q smite it, it's just dead. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not unstoppable, but yeah, it's annoying. But Banner Command is more about the wave is pushing when you're not there. And eventually someone is going to have to go deal with it. Same thing of Zz'Rot, right? So do you know what Banner Command does?
It empowers a minion, and it also cannot take magic damage.
So here, let me actually show you. Did I just miss it? Oh, I just misspelled things. So first of all, like on your AP tanks, like Zac, like a Mumu, it's really, really good because it gives you health, which you like, gives you magic resist, base health regen, whatever, why not? It gives you ability power and cooldown reduction. Everything a tank wants. It also gives you this Legion thing, which means everybody near you gets 15 magic resist. It's just like
Isn't
a
that
locket.
the same as Locket? Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh. But the difference is you don't get that shield active, you get this active, which makes a minion super strong, immune to magic damage, and it also last hits for you, so if it kills something, you get the gold for it. So this
Oh,
will...
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it pushes a wave for you, and if it's pushing the wave, what does the enemy team have to do?
They have to defend.
They have to defend, so they'll split up their wombo combo, right?
So, like, if they've got a, wombo combo team, then you can just build that.
Yeah, so because the banner minion will split them up. Now, if they're all AD, if they're an AD wombo combo, like something like Yasuo, Jace, I don't know, like nil magic damage, is this a good item?
No,
No, why not?
because they just delete it.
Yeah, like a Lawai Yasuo, because they'll just...
I think the reason it's good is because mages don't like to auto attack, but they have to.
Yeah, like if there's a Veigar, a Rise, or a Singed, this is the bane of their existence because they miss every cannon minion you promote, and they're sad. Also, the magic resist is kind of worthless against an all AD team, you know? So like Wukong would be another example of like an AD wombo combo of Yasuo and a Lawai, things like that. So this is really good against AP champions, less good against AD. So against AD, you'd probably want the ZZ Rot.
So if I'm playing Zac, and this is just a random question, if they've got like any AP at all, is Spirit Visage like really good because it increases your healing with your blobs? And
on Zac, I think Spirit Visage is core.
Yeah, okay, because I build it every game on him.
Because he likes the cooldown reduction, he likes the health, and the healing amp is just so broken on him right now.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That's what the challenger coach I got coached by the other day was saying as well. So like even if they're AD, I would still build it on him. As stupid as that sounds, just because you want that unique passive that amps healing.
Okay, because I build it every game on him, like second or third item.
Yeah, and that's probably about right, because he likes the health, he likes the cooldown reduction, so that's fine. Okay. And then stack armor after that.
It increases his heal, is that a good item for him?
Yeah, it'd be a great item for him. Anybody of healing, you know, if you have a Soraka on your team, or a Janna, something of healing that can heal you.
Or Vladimir.
Vladimir would be a great item. Usually people rush it on Vladimir.
Yeah, I almost always do.
But yeah, so good. You're thinking about stuff that makes sense, because that's what we want to do. Tie into champ pool different items for different strategies, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what about Kayle? We haven't really talked about Kayle. What would be a good item to deal with Wombo? And here, pick from these.
Probably Guardian Angel.
Guardian Angel would be good. What else?
Zanya's.
Zanya's would be good. What else?
Phantom Dancer.
Phantom Dancer would be okay. What else?
So she likes to attack fast.
Yeah.
Ma.
Ma could work, yeah. Ma Sterix could work on her. Death's Dance could work on her. Remember, Kayle does AD and AP. You can build her AP, you can build her on hit, you can build her AD too. She's a hybrid champion, so you have options. I think QSS would actually be amazing as well.
Oh, really?
Because remember, let's say you get CC'd, you QSS to get out of the CC. What else do you have in Kayle's kit that can save you from a wombo?
Alt.
Yeah, your alt, right? So if you get the Mercurial or just the QSS and you're sitting on it, that can save you because it'll make it so you can alt, okay?
Yeah.
Make sense?
On Kayle, is it better to use your ult on yourself or on your teammate? And obviously you're going to say, like, it's situational, but...
Yeah, situational. I would say who's going to do more damage and win you the fight. Use it on that person.
Okay. Because, like, I usually don't play selfish. Like, I know everyone wants to be a good guy, but, like... And also everyone wants to be the hero that gets 5 kills every fight.
So if you're playing Kayle, why are you playing Kayle? Remember, going back to the team comp.
Well, you've now told me that she's supposed to do a lot of damage.
You're playing Kayle because your team already has tanks, right?
Yeah, when I've played Kayle before, I've like only played her support though. Is that wrong?
Kayle support can work. It's not as good as other positions though, because she really likes gold to get strong, and in the support role, you can't really consistently get that unless you play perfectly and always get your lane ahead. Okay. So I would argue Kayle, you usually want to play jungle, mid, or top. Can be played as a support, because sure, the ult is good for your carry, but like she needs so much gold to be strong. So supports don't get a lot of gold, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Graham, I'm gonna cancel my lesson with you if you're giving me like shitty scores, man. Unless 5 is the max. I can't remember if it's out of 10 or not.
It's 10.
But come on, man. Don't give me a 5 out of 10. But you do a lesson with me, and then you rate me afterwards. If I did a shitty job and I deserve the 5 out of 10, I'll take it. But that's how you do it, man. All right, but yeah, does that kind of make sense? Like when we would build what to counter this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
All right, what else? Let's pick a different one. Do you feel good about the Wombo combo?
On our team or their team?
On their team, like how you would build to counter it?
Yeah, I understand the items.
All right, what if you have a Wombo combo team? First of all, what champions do you think you'll pick? Here, let's look through your match history and find a Wombo combo team. Here, you tell me.
The 2 champs I play in ranked are Amumu and Thresh, and focusing on Amumu, I really like his ult just because, it's, like I said, it's so easy to use and it's really good.
So what I want you to do right now, I agree with you, 100% I agree with you. I want you to look through this match history, and I want you to tell me when to stop scrolling. And here, can I link to the stream too, just so they can see?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, cool. But guys, find me a game that at everybody except the jungler has like Wombo combo type stuff. And what I mean by that is like a high cooldown burst. And I just linked your own match history at you. But find me a game to look at. Could be your team, could be the enemy team, and we're just gonna be like, what would be a good Wombo combo? I actually see one right now.
That's why I wanted to talk about expanding my champ pool, because if I'm picking a Mumu every game, then that might not always fit with the rest of my team. So then I'm just trying to team fight while we've got a 1-3-1 and no one else wants to fight, and I just go in and die.
So look at this one right here, this pink one.
Yeah.
Why am I saying this is a good Wombo combo? Walk me through it.
Varus's ult.
Varus ult?
Sona's got an AoE ult. It's kind of not really like a circle, but it's still
yeah. It's like it looks like a car almost, or a rectangle or something.
Yeah, like a bus or something.
Yeah, so she can do that. Varus can chain.
Renekton likes to stand inside of them and just do damage around.
He does AoE damage around him. He can stun one high priority target in the middle. What about Galio?
Galio does a huge AoE of taunting and damage.
Yeah, oh, and look, you got an Abyssal Scepter too, which is amazing. The Galio on my team in my ranked game earlier didn't buy this, and I was sad. But yeah, so he's going to be holding people in place. They're going to be holding people in place. They're going to be holding people in place. Renekton's just going to be dancing around, murdering people in the middle, shredding all their armor with this. You have a really nice Wombo combo here. From your new champ pool, not Rammus, although Rammus isn't bad here, who would be a good fit for this team? So here.
My new champ pool as in not a Mumu?
Amumu could work because he's in here, right?
Yeah, well, he's like the only one I use in rank.
Okay, that's fine though. But we're saying that we built your champ pool tonight: the Zac, the Kayle, the Rek'Sai, the Hecarim, the Kindred, so you can pick different champs in different situations. So here, walk me through the logic. Who would you pick as a jungler for this team comp? Let's say your last pick and you're the jungler. Everyone else is picked. Ignore the enemy team.
Well, I'd choose a Mumu.
Why?
Probably. Because.
Walk me through the logic.
Alright, so if I engage with like a flash ult or a Q ult, then I can just...
That's not the logic we're working on though, man. You're not wrong. He can fit the Wombo combo. I like that. But why a Mumu and not Hecarim?
Because it holds them in place.
Again, like
instead of moving
there's actually a very specific reason why a Mumu makes sense here and not Hecarim. And I want to make sure you get it. Here, so look at these. Why are they categorized in this way?
To narrow it down more.
Right. Okay. So which half of this would you start on? The top half or the bottom half, and why?
Well, if I chose a Mumu, we'd have double AP, double AD.
Yes. Okay, so you see Varus' AD damage, so does the support. Don't count on her for damage, although she probably built death caps and stuff.
She does a lot still.
She does a little. She does a little.
But you build AP for the heals, and then your Q still does a lot.
Right, but her job is to support. It's not to carry, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I've seen Sona's carry before.
That's true. You can carry from support, but her job is to support the carries, right?
Yeah.
So we have physical damage here. We have magic damage here, a little bit of magic damage here, but if you wanted to have a balanced team, physical or magic damage?
Magic.
Magic. So we're already looking at this half of the list. And now the reason we want a balanced team is so they can't stack one resistance against you. It makes it harder for the enemy team to itemize against your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason for that. If your physical guys are getting fed and they're stacking armor against them, suddenly your magic guys can come back into it because, you know, they don't have Mimar because they spent all their money on armor, right? So, all right, we're already looking at the magic side. All right, so are we going tanky or are we going damage, and why?
Well, we already have 2 tanks, so we might need a little more damage.
I kind of agree with you. That's why I was raising my eyebrow a little at Amumu. So,
Yeah, now that I look at it.
So Kale might actually work real nicely. Are you going to have a hard time auto-attacking as Kale?
Not with all that CC.
Nah, you have plenty of CC, and you have 2 tanks already. Like, I don't think I think Amumu is overkill. It can work. Amumu still does damage, but I mean...
Yeah, maybe I could go AP and Mumu, although you said that's not the best on him.
It's not the best, but in this situation, like if you had... Let's say you picked Amumu first, and they do this. I would go a little more damage on him, just because you have Galio to tank, you have Renekton to take, you have Sona to heal you guys all up. And again, the Mumu Wombo combo, you're holding everyone in place for the Renekton and the Varus to delete them for like 10 seconds at this point. Because you have your ult, you have Galio's ult, you have Sona's ult, you have Varus ult, Renekton has a stun too. Like, you have so much Nightmare CC, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the team comp I usually like to play.
So,
just because it's pretty safe as long as someone can land their CC to start it all.
But do you see how we figured out, okay, starting physical or magical, right? Which one do we want to do and why?
AP, because we already have 2 physical.
Yep. So AP, and damage or tank, which one and why?
Damage, because we already have 2 tanks.
Yeah, and we're saying Galio's a tank because he needs to build magic resist to get AP. It's just the way that Goofy champion works, even though he's playing mid. So you already have a bunch of tanks, so it makes sense to go more damage here. And you also have a shit ton of CC that's going to be holding people in place. Kale can just sit there right-clicking and get a pentakill accidentally. Like, you could probably play this team fight one-handed and still get a pentakill. Like, your team is going to make it so easy for you. So again, we're thinking up here. Don't really need a tank. And again, because we have 2 tanks already and Sona heals. And we're thinking Kale would be amazing. Do you see how we did that?
Yep.
All right. Let's say Galio was a LeBlanc.
Oh.
What do you pick now?
Probably an AD tank.
Why an AD tank?
Because, or wait, never mind. Yeah, for some reason I thought we were switching,
Same team, but not Galio. Galio is tanky. LeBlanc
probably
is
an AP tank then.
I would pick an AP tank too. Why? LeBlanc is AP squishy damage dealer, right?
Yeah.
So
but she's pretty slippery.
Physical, AP damage dealer. Yeah, but will she be holding people in place?
Not really, unless she lands her snare.
Yeah, she has her snare, but it's not as reliable as like a Galio flash ult, right?
Yeah.
So who are you thinking out of the tanks? Who would be better?
Well, Amumu holds them in place, and Zac like throws them around.
Which one do you think would be better?
Probably Amumu.
I agree. I think you want him to be held in place for the Sona ult, for the Varus ult, for Renekton to dance around, for LeBlanc to get an easy pick on the damage dealers, whoever's the most fed, right?
Yeah, I think Zac is better for if they're trying to set something up, you can just interrupt it.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're trying to set something up, Amumu is probably better.
And like you said, Zac has that GA built into his passive, so if they have a wombo combo of their own, you know, Zac, you don't even have to buy the GA. You just wait every 5 minutes for his passive to be up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like Zac so much, is you can literally tower dive level 3 and they won't expect it at all.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, and there's like really no consequences. If your teammate has teleport, they can teleport to the blobs and ensure that you come back to life too. It's just stupid. Yeah, there's going to be a dedicated pig cam. I'm working on it. I'm trying to find a way to set it up, you guys, where you can't just like look up my shorts while I'm streaming.
Well,
because I don't know, maybe I'd get more viewers that way, but
maybe.
I don't know if anybody wants to see that. But all right, going back to you, Nopples. I'm sorry, it's your lesson. Well, we're already about 2 hours deep too.
Yeah.
But is this helpful? Does this kind of make sense?
Yeah.
The way I think about it, I have this goofy Excel sheet, which is now on the entire screen. Here's my entire champ pool. I only have it down to the ones that I like am super competent and ranked on. And then what I would recommend is you go through, like, this is my logic exactly. Do we need magic or do we need physical? And hybrid is both, so, you know, it's like Jax. I can build a little bit extra magic, a little bit extra physical to kind of be, if I'm not sure. But, you know, okay, let's say I need physical. Do I need a tank or do I need damage? You know, let's say I need a tank. You know, we'll do tanky. And then my list is going to narrow down, right? Do I need engage? All right, all of these can do that. Do I need disengage? Oh, I do, so we keep narrowing the list. And you keep figuring it out and narrow it down to whatever kind of comp you want to do. Kind of make sense?
What is Rek'Sai's disengage? I know Poppy's is her ult.
Rek'Sai's disengage is she is really hard to kill, and she can go in and jump up, and then she can just E away. And then she can recall, and then she can ult right back into the fight. So she has she's slippery, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
She doesn't necessarily have disengage for your team. It's kind of like Zac. He gets caught out, he just jumps out, or he ults out or something, right?
Yeah.
But Rek'Sai, they changed her. She's not as tanky as she used to be, but because her passive heals her when she's underground, she could go in, take a beating, like E out, recall, ult back in, full health, and, have essentially 2 lives in the team fight. Now she's a little squishier, but, you can still do it. So that's why I say disengage. So maybe that's wrong, actually, now I'm thinking about it. It's not as strong as something like Poppy, who just knocks him away with a hammer, right?
Yeah.
Other things, Rek'Sai can split push, so maybe that's something that's interesting. And split push, you have different jobs, right? So Poppy, she creates that zone of no entry. If you get too close to the tower, she can always ult you away, and now your tank line's gone for your carry, something like that, right? Or you try to tower dive, she just crashes you into a tower, and now you're CC'd for 4 minutes. Volibear, I don't know why he's split push, actually. I would argue that he's not. I'm going to actually change this. You know what I mean? So maybe wave clear just by ulting, something like that. I don't know. But does that kind of make sense, Nopples?
Yeah. So, if we still have a little time, I kind of wanted to discuss something else that I have problems with.
Yeah, sure. Like, ask questions so you're out of questions, man.
Well, I used to
actually
only really have...
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Do you think we're good on number 2 and number 3 here, the different item strategies tying to your champ pool?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel pretty confident having gone through this for like an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on then. I just want to make sure we got that across. Okay, hit me. What's your question? Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, so, well, we already talked about items, but one of the things I used to do before now is just, like, stick to a specific build.
Don't do that.
And, yeah, I know. Like, I know there's core items that you kind of need to have on your champ, but then there's, like, a lot of flexibility as well.
Yep.
And then, along with that, I would have, like, one specific combo as well.
Combo?
Like,
what do you mean by that?
Okay, so...
Like abilities or, like, item combo?
Yeah, like, as Echo, I used to play Echo a little bit, and I would throw out my Q, and for some reason... unless it hit them on the way out and the way back in, I would never use my E. Like, this is when I used to play, like, a month after I started playing.
Okay.
So I was really bad, but I would throw out my Q, and unless I got 2 stacks of, like, circles around them, like my passive, I would never E in, because I thought that was the only combo you could do with him.
Ah, got it. Yeah. There are
so
more
weird.
Echo is like the most combo-heavy champion in the game. Okay, so that is weird.
And then I started, like, E-ing in and then Qing, and then I started using my W more because I started getting better, and I started using my ult properly, and he's, like, way more fun now that I actually use the right, like, techniques with him.
So is this a question, or are you just telling me a story about how you became a better player?
I'm just telling you how I'm bad.
Well, I would argue you're better because you're now aware that there is more than one way to deal damage and use a champion's abilities. So I would.
Yeah.
You're not bad. You're getting better, man.
Yeah.
But what's your question though? Like, what are you trying to get at?
I don't know. I'm just. Are there, like, how many combos would you say there are with, like, a Moo Moo? Like, there's not very many because a lot of your abilities are just press it once.
He's pretty simple. It's like flash Q, flash alt, and by that I mean Q flash, alt flash to cancel the animation and catch people off guard. It's pretty much you always want your W on. You always want to be auto attacking before you use your big abilities because it reduces their magic resist. But like he's pretty simple because he can't switch it up and do different things. Compare him to a champion like Riven. You can use abilities in between your 3 Q jumps. You can cancel your auto attacks animations as you're like hopping around. You can literally mix up and do anything. Like Riot created Riven to emulate fighting games and how you can do all these weird mix-ups and catch people off guard. So champions like Echo and Riven, you have way more flexibility, versatility than a champion like a Moo Moo who's pretty, like, he's going to do one thing and it's predictable. That's why you don't see a lot of a Mumu's played in high elo because he's so predictable. Like people know how to play against the one thing he's gonna do. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, how much do you think the combos has on impact on like how hard the champion is? Like a lot.
A lot. Like Nidalee, I think is the hardest jungler to learn right now, but also one of the most powerful because she has a bajillion combos she can do. And
Yeah.
bajillion
Well,
is just
usually
my
all
word
I
for a
see
big
is,
number.
like, they throw a spear and then if they land it, they jump in.
Right, but I mean, think about like clearing in the jungle, or think about fighting in an awkward team fight. You know, it's like mid-team fight. Is she just going to sit back and throw spears and then jump in? Maybe, or maybe she can jump in, get auto attack resets, and throw traps down. Like I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff she can do.
Yeah. Well, another thing is, do you think Tank Echo is still viable?
Tank Echo, no, Riot has nerfed it. It still works, but you can't do like all the insane damage. So it's viable if you need a tank. Let's put it that way.
Because when I started playing, my friend played Echo he'd already played League for a really long time and he got me into it.
Mhm.
He said he used to play Echo Tank and that they nerfed it so you can't do it anymore.
You can
And
do
I
it,
didn't know
but
what
you
it
can't
used to
do
be.
it and 1v5 anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know what it used to be like, so I just started building Tank Echo and it seems to work fine for me. I just didn't know what it used to be, so I don't know how different it is. I guess.
There used to be like no counter to it. He could just do whatever he wanted, and there's nothing you could do about it. So now like he doesn't have enough damage to just kill your entire team before they kill him. He's just like an annoying tank. But before, you know, he'd build one damage item in straight tank, and he had like 5,000 health and was unkillable. And he somehow was doing like the most damage in the game too. And that's just not fun to play
He was
against.
just broken.
Yeah, he was just broken. So now he actually has to build AP if he wants his damages to work. His base damages got chunked. So you know when we were looking at the LoL wiki and like a Kindred, right? And she had those little baby scalings on her stuff. It was like 10% AD. Echo now has like tiny base damages. So like the Kindred, her jump was doing like 100 or 200 damage, and then the 10% AD, right? Echoes are like, it used to be like big numbers. Now it's tiny numbers and then huge AP scalings.
Okay.
I forget what they are right now, but you need to build AP on him if you want to do damage. If you build AP, you're not going to be as tanky, right? So you can actually kill him.
So Tank Echo used to be both. It used to be insane damage and you can't die, and now it's like one or the other pretty much.
Yeah, now it's like one or the other. It's supposed to be. It can still be, depending on how you build him, how bad the player is against him. Like, he can still snowball out of control and do both, but yeah, it's not as bad where you can just build him straight tank and still have the most damage in the game and never die.
Okay.
Make sense?
And then one last thing, and then we can end.
Yeah, sure.
Like I watch you play a lot, and you never get tilted. Like, is that just something you develop after a while? You just don't get angry anymore?
I get angry sometimes. I got a pretty good poker face, but I used to get really tilted when I first started playing this game.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Yeah, when I first started playing, and then like you get to a point here. Here, let me show you. Let me draw you guys a graph. We're going into paint.
Because like right now, I'll just 1v1 someone, and they beat me, and then they flash their masteries, and that just tilts me so much. Like I'll be fine, and then they press one button, and I'm just so mad.
Yeah, whatever. That's
It's
cute.
pretty bad.
The way I think about it is like I think about it this way: are you more scared of the guy? Like I play a lot of basketball, right? Let's say the opposing teammate, you know, gets this big dunk on you guys. He makes this big play, and then he just starts doing the chicken dance down the court, and he's screaming. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah!" Are you more scared of him or the guy that does the exact same thing and acts like it was nothing?
Probably the second guy.
Why?
Just because he's not being a jerk about it, I guess.
Well-
Like, he can control himself.
The way I think about it, the guy who's celebrating is celebrating because he's never done it before. The second
Yeah,
guy who
that makes
just
sense.
does it and acts like it's nothing, it's because it is nothing, and he's going to do it the next play, and the next play, and the next play. Like, he's not celebrating because it was nothing. It's nothing to celebrate over because it wasn't that amazing.
Well,
know-
yeah, and also on the other side of things, when I make a big play, I also celebrate a lot, which I know is bad to do, but
I,
like,
I mean, it's because you're new. It's because you've never done
yeah,
it before. Celebrate
yeah,
those
exactly.
victories, man. Do what you got to do, but realize the really scary players aren't celebrating after that stuff because it's just another day in the office for them. They're
Like
gonna
I'll
do
make
it.
one good play and I'll be freaking out because I've never made a good play before.
Right, but I mean, would you be scared of you?
Probably not, because you don't think they're gonna be able to do it again. Cause
Probably
they
not.
wouldn't overreact if
I'm
the-
scared of the consistent player who's doing that scary play and not celebrating because he
Yeah.
knows he's just gonna be able to do it again whenever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think about it. But here, let me do this. So let me show you my tilt over time. So at the beginning, I knew I was a noob. I was like, whatever. I know I'm getting shit on. My
Yeah,
first
that's,
game.
that's exactly what I am. Like, I'll start playing a game and I'll get shit on. I'll be like, oh, he's just been playing longer than me. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
And
like,
then one day I'll just get so mad like every time I die.
yeah, for sure. So that was me. Like my first game, I was playing Cho'Gath. I was up against a Fiddlesticks. It was my first game against real people. I had never seen a Fiddlesticks before, and I was so confused why he wasn't dying when I was standing next to him and why I was.
Because he has his drain thing.
Yeah, and my entire team was raging at me, and I was like, it's my first game against real people, you guys. And they still raged at me, told me to kill myself and uninstall because the community was very toxic back then.
Back then, it
so-
still is, I'm pretty sure.
It is not. It is infinitely better. Riot has done an amazing job making this not a shitty place to live. Like they
Well,
actually, like look at
yeah,
Tyler
but
One. There is a
in a
fully
while.
paid team of people designed to keep him out of the game.
Yeah, but like it's probably way worse in bronze than it is in
Nope.
diamond.
Nope.
Really?
You
don't think so?
Let me put it this way. It
Alright.
used to be a lot worse in bronze. It used to be a lot worse in silver than it is now. So
Okay.
sure, it might be worse in bronze than
Well,
it is in diamond.
The thing is, I wasn't there back then, so I wouldn't know how bad it was.
Yeah,
in
for sure.
color.
So you can't appreciate it, but I'm just saying it
Yeah.
used to be a lot worse. So I was born in the tilt. I was
Yeah.
molded from it while you were not even around, and so that's one thing.
Yeah.
It used to be way worse than it is now. So like all the people like they're feeding intentionally and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cute. I've seen way worse. This is nothing. So I'm kind of desensitized.
Yeah.
But as I grew as a player, I felt like I knew everything. So when I was silver, I was the best player in the universe, and it was my teammates holding me back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was bad because here, actually, it's probably more like this. And then as I kept playing, I realized, wait a second, I suck. I'm shit.
That's kind of what I'm realizing now.
And now that I feel like I actually know the game really well, and I see people that are just fucking stuff up because they're ranked the same as me or they're matched the same as me, it's kind of like this. Just random tilt spikes.
Yeah.
But not as big as it was before. So I'll be like, oh, you didn't buy an Executioner's Calling against Soraka. The item that she's balanced around. And you're blaming me for not engaging properly, even though I landed a 5-man ult and we just couldn't kill them because Soraka clicked one button because you didn't buy an 800 gold. There's stuff like that tilts me. That's one of these spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because I learned things.
You have a really good way of not expressing it.
Yeah, and think about it this way. Like, if I do tilt, that's something I need to work on as a player because this is a strategy game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I am tilting, I'm not thinking with my brain, I'm thinking with my heart, I'm thinking with my balls, I'm thinking with my adrenaline, and you're not going to win very many games doing that. If it was sports, sure, maybe you can use the tilt as a weapon, but here, if I get really worked up and start sweating profusely, it's just going to make it harder to click things.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? So you got to kind of train yourself to be like, and just ignore the haters.
Yeah.
All right, make sense?
Yeah.
But
I think that's all I have.
Yeah, but if you're having trouble with tilt, I recommend soothing music. There are a lot of challenger players that listen to classical music, just soft, keeps you calm, like elevator music. I've had a few students that have a punching bag next to their desk, and if they are tilted, they take it out in that bag. Some guys just scream and yell when they're pissed off, but they don't type and chat. All those things are helpful, but whatever helps you. And like if you play a really bad game and you're tilted to oblivion and you know it, do not queue up for another game. Like I actually still get tilted. Like there are times I'm just like, fuck it, I'm done. We're out. And I'll go for like a 3-mile run or like a 6.2-mile run because that's my 10 kilometers for the day, And by
But
then,
sometimes I think a mistake I'll make is just, oh, that was just that game. Let me just queue up again.
but as long as like if you feel like there are games like I played here. Let me show you my match history. Actually, I think someone was just doing rank in the stream too, so I can just click that right. Taco programmed all these cool Nightbot things for me. But
And then
I've
another
had
thing I'll do is I'll add and or like honor the good players so that hopefully uh, I'll get matched with them again.
oh nice. I mean, I don't think that'll work, but
Well, like I'll add them if they're good, and if they add me back, then I'll play with them.
so
Or I'll just honor them if I remember to.
yeah, I mean, go for it. I mean, everybody likes a compliment, right? And you don't get enough of those in this world. So let me show you this game. This game, most players probably get tilted. It's not showing the jungle objectives. All right, there we go. So this game, I pretty much played a perfect game out of the jungle. They got one Baron at the end, but I controlled 4 dragons, 2 Barons. I stole a bunch from them. We controlled the map well. We had like a really early inhibitor at some point too. Like we were just destroying them. And I had this one player that was just trying to single-handedly solve world hunger. This was earlier today. I was just playing, right? And this is in Diamond 4. It's the top 1% of the player base. You think people would know what to do. She was essentially just ulting in 1v5 into the enemy team over and over and over again.
Natalia?
The Talia, yeah.
Okay.
So I played like a perfect game, and we still ended up losing just because she just kept dying and doing dumb shit and getting caught out over and over and over. And like we probably, if she was just going even, or even if she's down a kill or two but was playing safe, we probably could have ended right here, like at 26 minutes. So like this kind of game, like most people would tilt out of their minds, they'd be flaming her and stuff. But I'm just looking back at it, and like I played this game perfectly. I'm not mad at all. Like if I played this again the exact same way 10 times, I'd probably win like 9 out of these 10 games. You know.
I think the game I started tilting, like the first time I ever tilted in this game was the first game I ever played against a Fizz.
Oh yeah, I mean the annoying
Probably.
champions too. But then when you kill them, it feels so good. It's like when you murder that little shit Teemo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure.
And then you realize that champs like Teemo are like not very good. Like they might be annoying, but they're
But they
not
have
really
weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you know how to play against them, that works. And then you get the teammates that don't know, and then you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start getting a little tilted, but it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
So dealing with tilt, soothing music, know when you're tilted and don't play, take a break, go work out, go for a run, go hang out with your lady friend or your guy friend. I don't know how you swing nopples, but either's fine. You know, like just do something to ease the tension. You know?
Yeah. All right.
And realize that at the end of the day, it's a fucking video game. Like if you lose or win, does it matter?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Like I'm doing this for a hobby, so that's another thing. Once you
I mean,
realize,
if you're a pro player and you're playing as a career, maybe, but
oh boy, so are you doing that right now?
I wish.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like tilting is not how you're going to get to pro play.
I know, but like, it kind of matters if you're a pro.
Right, it does. It does. So there are now 100 million people playing League of Legends every month, right? Riot just released that figure. Of those 100 million, I think, like 100, maybe 200 are pro players?
Yeah, so as soon as Bjergsen starts asking for coaching from you, you can tell him differently.
Yeah, sure. You know, something like that. I don't know, man. But I'm just saying, like don't worry about that until you're there. Until then, you know, it's whatever. And I think right now, like, sure, you could argue, like, I don't know how young you are, but they're giving out full ride scholarships for League. But there's some Division I colleges giving out full ride scholarships to Plat players. And you...
Really?
Yeah, and, like, that's not even that
great.
great.
Motivation to actually get good.
Yeah, like you could probably, like, if you spent, like, a month of just straight playing League, get to Plat, and then you could get a full ride scholarship. Which is, again, one of the reasons I offer free coaching, trying to help kids out. But yeah, like...
Why do they give out scholarships?
Because esports is the next big thing. Like, more people play League in China than they do baseball or basketball, man. It's exploding in growth, and the colleges that are going to be the early adopters and have the teams are going to be the dynasties in the future. We might have League of Legends in the Olympics in the future, as weird as that shit sounds. Like, I don't know. I would love to see a Pokemon Go marathon in the Olympics, but that's bizarro world at this point. But a lot of the forward-thinking, early adopter entrepreneur types are seeing that esports are moving that way, and the fact that there's so much money behind
there's like
it.
$1 million prizes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And League is weird because Riot is really goofy. Like, if you guys follow the Monte Cristo Reginald drama on Reddit between Tryndamere, the owner of League, and all them, like they're not setting up the ecosystem right for it to grow and turn into something like the NFL. But that'll change because the other video games like CS:GO are. And the player base is pissed about it, so it will change, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think that's all.
Yeah, was this helpful? Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, it was very much so.
All right, good. And if you have any more questions, man, you know where to find me, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. And I'll try to play some Kindred games just so you can see
Alright.
how I play her anyway. Because
Yeah.
I've done the math because I wanted to learn them a while back. So we can definitely talk about that. Although my mechanics will be a little awkward, so you guys can make fun of me for that. But all right, man. Let's call it a night. Thank you so much
Alright.
for being a good student, and appreciate
Thank
you
for
putting
being
up
a
with
good
the.
teacher.
Yeah, hey, I'll take it, man. And thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties too.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. All right. Have a good night, man. Later.
You too.
All right, and we stop the screen.